You know, it spins right round, baby, right round. Welcome back to Friday Night Tights, everybody. My name is Gary Beekler, and I am live in San Francisco, California. I come from a channel called Nerdrotic. I don't know what it means. It was just an accident. I heard that word by accident, and I decided to name my channel Nerdrotic. And I have guests. So we're going to go around the brilliant round table this evening, and we're going to have some people kind of jumping in and out because it's kind of an important weekend. Not much has happened. A little film dropped that I'm still processing, by the way, but the Fall of Skywalker. Cats.
Yeah, that's the one.
I want to see that. I actually want to see that now.
See it. Oh my God, please see it.
Because of how terrible it is?
Watch it. It's fantastic.
It is? Yeah, okay. I'll take Mrs. Nerdrotic on date night. So we'll start out with the most humble man on the internet, Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing okay. How are you, Gary? Thank you for having me. I appreciate being here for the first time ever on Friday Night Tights. Seeing as so many people in the chat were like, fuck, Jeremy's here. Yeah, I'm here every fucking week, motherfucker. And the more you bitch about it, I'm going to be here even more often. Even when I want to take a week off, I'm going to go, you know what? I can't take a week off because that miserable little shriveled up mosquito dick would be upset if I am there. Therefore, I have to be there. But I'm doing good. Thank you for having me, Gary.
Is that your little banky on your chair right there?
That's
your little blank. Is it a little banky?
Yep, look at there.
Isn't that? Yeah, it's just sweet.
That's great.
It's adorable.
Oh, it is.
Oh my God, it's so cute.
Yeah. Real men with big penises have Mario blankets
and soy jeans. Oh yeah,
soy jeans and bankies.
Here, I'll here.
Don't clap, quarter black. That offends me.
I'm not gonna lie.
I'm sorry.
I'm just kidding.
Your hotness level went up like another 2 points there.
There you go. And the clean-shaven man himself, he's got a movie blog, and he teaches the youth of America. He is Odin's movie blog. What's up?
Oh, nothing much. How is everyone doing this evening? And yes, I have seen both Rise of Skywalker and Cats. So I've had a wonderful week. I've had a wonderful week, let me tell you.
Good Lord.
Hey, and Odin got the official review for Geeks and Gamers, over 150,000 views. Great job, sir.
Thank you.
Great job. And I told you in private, the person that complimented your review, but also Mahler commented on your video. Mahler watched yours and commented. Wow. So there you go, man.
I can't wait for his 24-hour live stream covering this piece of trash.
Well, it's gonna be glorious.
Yes.
The YouTube has been fantastic, and I'm still catching up. I haven't. I hope World Class and you Geeks and Gamers have kept your live streams up so I can watch them.
I did. I'm keeping all my live streams up just because they've been doing really well. So
why the hell not? Yeah, my last one did okay. Okay, you know her, you love her. She is the mistress of Mayhem, and her name is Mary. Mary Mayhem, how are you?
Fuck this movie.
Language. Oh my goodness.
That's the energy we need.
Yes.
Was I supposed to come in? And I apologize. Hi guys, I'm so thrilled to fracking be here. This is my therapy because I am enraged and ready to go moitalize some people. So yeah.
Right on, and welcome. And yes, you can cuss and yell. It's fine. That's what we are here for. We did it for Game of Thrones. We did it for Captain Marvel. We'll do it for the MCU. We'll be here for Doctor Who, Star Trek, and of course, the Fall of Skywalker. Now, you know him, you love him. He spells comics wrong. His name is Comix Division.
How's it going, everyone? How's it going?
What is up? And last but not least, the man who was partially responsible for causing a lot of YouTubers a lot of headaches, but we still love him anyway.
Sorry.
Sorry, not sorry.
He sat through a horrible panel with me at Nerdrotic, or not Nerdrotic, at New York Comic Con. Jesus, I can't talk. Quarter Black Garret, what's up, man?
Hey, welcome to the end of the Skywalker saga, guys. It's been great.
Jesus, stop that. Stop that.
Jesus, please stop.
Well, Ray is Jesus now. So I mean, you say Ray,
right? I'm sorry. Please, good Lord above, Ray, with your floating in the sky with rocks floating around you powers, and you're able to heal all wounds and walk on water.
Was that not
praise to be to Ray?
The last Airbender shit she was doing right there.
That was
pulled right the hell out of it.
The power of Rey compels you. The power of Rey compels you.
God, it was horrible.
Jesus. I mean, okay, so I have been caught up in my own life, so I apologize to all my fellow YouTubers. I will be spending the evening catching up on all their YouTube to hear what you guys have said. I'm still processing this movie. I did a big, long live stream last night, but I still don't entirely know where it sits as far as Disney Star Wars. I think it just sucks as much as the other ones do. I don't know how much compared to The Last Jedi, because it was such a gobbledygook, hyperkinetic mess of nothing, except everything was happening, but nothing happened. And it was a meandering MacGuffin chase like we all thought it was. It was a basic episode of Alias. There was ridiculous. I mean, the map in the knife was my favorite part. By the way, there's going to be spoilers.
That was so dumb.
I don't think I've ever shaken my head as much as I did at a film like this. I wasn't like a raging pissed like I was at The Last Jedi. I was just like, oh my freaking God, really? So what did you guys think? We'll start with Jeremy.
Well, I've had about 24 hours to process everything now. I made a tweet about this. So initially when I walked out of the cinema, it was like, this might be worse than The Last Jedi. And, I had a live stream last night for about 5 hours and we talked about it, and it just got progressively worse for me. And ultimately where I'm landing on it is that I do believe that it's a more enjoyable film than The Last Jedi, but it's still a worse movie. And I'm going to explain why. I enjoyed, like, in the early stages, the first 30 minutes, like, I genuinely did enjoy the interactions between Poe, Finn, and Rey. I just did. I thought that, as typical JJ, he knows how to make characters interact in an interesting way. He did it in the Trek movies, So if you're not a Star Wars fan and you watch this and don't know anything about it, you're going to think, oh, okay, it's fun. They're on an adventure, and but then you think these motherfuckers don't even know each other. They don't even know each other. Right. How the fuck do they have a relationship? This is so stupid. The Last Jedi destroyed Luke Skywalker, and we all understand that. But there was still hope. There was still that smidgen of hope that maybe, just maybe they can fix it. Maybe they'll bring Luke back in episode 9. Maybe it was all a dream. Well, this ended the Skywalker saga, and it ruins Anakin's arc. It ruins Vader's redemption. It's fucked. And this is why it's worse. It's a more enjoyable film than The Last Jedi. It's a better made movie than The Last Jedi, all things considered, because it is a clusterfuck. And JJ did his best to clean things up. He gave 3 fuck you moments to Rian Johnson, which I think everybody appreciates in isolation. But it was never going to work. But bringing Palpatine back, making Rey a Palpatine, it's bullshit. Her identifying as a Skywalker is bullshit. Her being able to heal people from the fucking dead, or vice versa, somebody else, it's bullshit. Why didn't Obi-Wan fucking heal Qui-Gon then? Why didn't Luke heal Vader? Why didn't fucking Anakin, heal his mom or whatever? It's just so dumb. Again, I don't have a problem. Well, yeah, Padme. I don't have a problem with that power existing. I have a problem with someone that's never been under any fucking training whatsoever to be able to fucking do that.
Hallelujah.
All of a sudden. It's bullshit. So because of a lot of variables, it is worse than The Last Jedi, even though it's a more enjoyable film in isolation than The Last Jedi.
But Jeremy, she had that obstacle course.
Yeah.
That she didn't finish.
I said this last night. So Rey equivalent, that's the equivalent of Rey going to a McDonald's, getting a double cheeseburger and running through the fucking playground. Now she's a fucking Jedi. But it's just so stupid. It's so stupid, but JJ deserves credit for the "fuck you, Ryan" moments. The lightsaber, that was a "fuck you, Ryan" moment. The Holdo maneuver, that was a "fuck you, Ryan" moment, and lifting the X-wing was a "fuck you, Ryan" moment. So he deserves credit for that. It's clear JJ Abrams does not like Rian Johnson, and he did not like The Last Jedi. It's absolutely clear. So anyway, that's it.
I think JJ's got himself to blame for that, though, because he by leaving the canvas like basically blank when he handed it over to Rian. Like, Rian was the wrong person. The guy's a jerk.
Oh, I agree. I mean, yeah, he's not. He doesn't deserve. He doesn't deserve a pass by any stretch of the
Jar Jar and Lawrence Kasdan have some, but you're right, and it was nice to see that a little bit, and that's what the critics are upset about, which actually gives me a little bit of joy. I'm not sorry to say.
I'm sorry. I think everybody on this panel had to smile when Lando and Chewie hugged, because I did, and I found like so much joy in that moment to see
that was a good moment.
It was beautiful.
Yeah. Billy, he was great. He was great. He was great as Lando.
Lando was great.
Yep. And unfortunately, he was in this film.
Wasted, I think.
Totally wasted.
Like, it was contrived, but I was happy to see him at least.
Yes, contrived is this entire film. God, yes. And yeah, what'd you think, Odin?
Yeah, I honestly, because I've had a few days to sit on it, and I think that I agree with Jeremy that this is worse than The Last Jedi, specifically because objectively, I think it's worse. That's why I can't wait for the Mahler stream, because I think he's going to tear this thing to shreds because of how poorly made of a film it is. Because it basically, and everyone in the reviews have been saying this, it's like 2 or 3 films that have been crammed together. And so things are being rushed. Plot conveniences are coming out of thin air. You have just random things that are never explained. It's a mess. It's a giant mess. And so I think this film is worse than Last Jedi. However, it's bad because of The Last Jedi. And so that's why it's you have to keep that in your mind, because this film is bad, but it all goes back to Last Jedi. Everything basically goes back to Rian Johnson.
Absolutely. And Mary, you've had a day to think about it.
I'm on pins and needles wondering what Mary thinks, because I can't tell by her, background or anything. I have no idea.
I think it says
doesn't let on at all.
I'm sitting in a place where I can't find anything good about this movie, and I say that acknowledging that there is plenty of popcorn fun moments in it, but they broke the canon. They completely and utterly broke the canon with this movie. Anakin and Luke mean nothing anymore. They mean absolutely nothing if you accept that this sequel trilogy is canon, right? And so what was the point? I feel bamboozled. I feel hoodwinked. You got me into the theater, right? You attempted to get my money. Haha, you usurped your expectations. So you attempted to get me into this theater and get my money, and you had bamboozled and hoodwinked me by proclaiming that this was the Skywalker saga and that the people that I cared about were going to be on display and doing their damn thing. But you lied. You lied to me. And I am absolutely livid about that. Not only that, but you didn't even do it in a way that was entertaining. I felt like I had been tied up and drugged behind a horse to watch this movie. It was absolutely insane. The breakneck pace made it impossible to absorb anything that was going on at any given point. You had to sit there and stare at the screen like a weirdo just to keep up with with what the hell was going on. Not to mention, for the first time in my life, I witnessed someone walk out of a theater last night. I've never seen that before. Sitting there, and Leia she's just died, and Ben's laying there like a schlub, and Rey's just done her Jesus thing. And someone in front of me, I don't know if he said, what is this shit? Or no, I don't know if he said, the fuck is this shit or what is this shit? But it was one of those two things. Gets up and storms out of the theater. And internally, I was gleeful and I envied him because I couldn't leave too. I had to stay and finish this shit show. And I was angry that I didn't have that freedom in that moment. I wanted to leave. I was just so angry. It was an absolute shit show. And yeah, fuck this movie.
I love it. That's right. I love it too. And yeah, this was the I wanted to walk out of The Last Jedi as well after Leia Poppins happened. I was like, do I want to watch the rest of this? There was 3 moments in this film, which I'll get to, which I just wanted to walk out. So I feel that guy's pain. And well said, Mary. Comics, what'd you think?
Well, I got a bit of a funny story to talk about before I get into how I feel about it. See, an hour before the movie, I was going out picking up dinner for my wife and myself before I go check the movie out. And I get in a car accident. So everything was fine. There wasn't a whole lot of damage to my Jeep, which was good. So it was still drivable. So I go back home, drop off the food. I scarf something real quick, head out the door.
Whose fault was it?
It was their fault. They pulled out in front of me, and I hit them. I had no time to brake, but I tried.
Glad you're okay.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm okay. I'm glad everyone's fine. It's life, right? So I get to the theater. I'm like 20 minutes late. I mean, the movie's already started. I'm wandering around. I'm like, fucking A, dude. I feel like such an idiot because the theater's dark. I'm trying to find my row. I'm asking people what row it is, and finally I find my row, and I go and I sit down, and I watch the movie, and I leave. I go home, and my wife asked me, "So, what'd you think of the movie?" I was like, "My car accident was more exciting than this movie." I left this movie feeling absolute nothing and complete apathy for Star Wars. I'm just like, I'm done with this stuff. I mean, it sucked. I mean, there are some good moments in the movie, but for the most part, I just didn't care. Yeah, and that's the thing that really sucked about it. I mean, at least with the when I walked out of The Last Jedi, it evoked some emotion. I was very pissed off when I left The Last Jedi. This movie, I was just like, I just don't care anymore.
I don't blame you.
Yeah, it was.
That's what I was wrestling with afterwards too. So
yeah, complete and utter disappointment. I guess the best way of putting it, if I can sum up this movie with a type of food. It is burnt toast with no butter on it.
Yeah. That's the character of Rey is the color beige. The color beige, exactly what she wears. A room temperature glass of water. Something I guess is palatable, but it's not something you go for.
Yeah, and there's several ways you can take this movie. I think the normies are going to really enjoy it because a lot of people in my theater they were clapping. They obviously enjoyed it, but the diehard Star Wars fans are going to hate this movie because how it abuses the canon.
Yep.
And that's the trick of Jar Jar Abrams, which I'll get into later. That's where he fools so many people, and it's almost hard to get through to people on this one because you got to explain the layers of his snake oil salesmanship. He's the cinematic antichrist, as Doomcock puts it. He's a charlatan. Of filmmaking, because he borrows from so many people. He's been anointed by so many people, and he's also charming. He's also knows. See, the biggest difference between him and Rian Johnson is Rian Johnson knows he's a dick and is unapologetic about it. Jar Jar is the same dick, in my opinion. He's just much smoother about it. They have the same beliefs, not about cinema, but I mean life, politics. They put the same stuff in their movies and their TV shows. Just one is way more subtle, or not subtle. He's just a little more clever about it. Rihanna is not as clever as Jar Jar Abrams is.
No, he's a kind of gentler dick.
Yeah. Quarter Black, what'd you think?
Fuck this movie. It's fucking trash. The fuck is this, man? Like it's the most. How could a movie be so fast-paced and so full of exposition, yet I have no clue what the fuck is going on? I was watching the whole first 30 minutes of this movie. It was just visual noise. It was like just jumping. It was Kylo doing this, and then he gets to the thing, and then he meets the Emperor, and the Emperor is there. Why is the Emperor there? Who cares? It doesn't matter. Go to the next thing, and then Rey's training, and then Rey loses the training, and then he goes to the next thing, and then all of a sudden they're on a planet, and a different planet, and a different planet, and then they're trying to get some kind of MacGuffin thing, and I don't really know what it is, but we're going to keep going because nobody cares what it is, and then they go to the planet, and then they're being chased, and then they're at a party, and then they crash, and then they just happen to crash right on top of some sand that sinks them in. So it's back to the next action thing. Oh no, what's going to happen now? And they sink through, and then instead of being sunken and killed, they just sink into a cave. And then, oh look, 5 steps away is a ship. Oh, that's the ship we were looking for. 5 steps away from that, oh, there's the knife we were looking for. Cool. It's just the entire thing. I looked over at my friends and I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I have no clue. Yep. And they were just introducing characters after character and picking them up, dropping them, picking them up, dropping them. Like Lando was in it. Oh, cool. Oh, no, he's gone. Who is this Power Ranger chick? Oh, she's gone too. And then what the fuck? I'm sorry. Like what is this?
Characters literally become plot contrivances in this movie.
Yes.
Well, and I think a lot of the issue with this movie is the fact that it spends so much time trying to undo the damage that Rian Johnson inflicted with The Last Jedi.
Right.
At the heart of it, I see there is a nugget of a potentially good movie there, but obviously it's not there because he has to go and focus on unfucking everything.
Yeah, he's like, hold on, I got to fix a bunch of stuff before I actually get to the story I'm trying to tell. So they're like, speed. Okay, those things done. Okay, now we can slow down. And it slowed down the last half, and the last half was worse than the first half. Like,
yeah.
I mean, it really was.
There's two points in the movie where I started laughing. The first one was when Rey killed Palpatine. I just was trying to hold back laughing. Everyone was cheering, and I'm laughing my ass off. And
why are you hitting yourself? Why are you hitting yourself?
Yeah, why are you hitting yourself? the other one,
just stop.
was when basically Space Joseph and Space Mary showed up, and you can thank Drunk 3PO for that. I laughed so fucking hard.
Yeah, the Palpatine situation, like I talked about that last night. Like, it's the equivalent of picking up a hot pan and just holding it and just screaming because it's burning your hand. You fucking let go. Like, stop shooting the fucking lightning, Palpatine.
Stop it, bro.
You've literally built yourself up over all of these years, all this manipulation, all these maneuvering. You know, you're so powerful, you're so intelligent, and so you don't know to stop shooting lightning when it's hurting you, when it's backfiring.
Yeah.
What? Palpatine took out a Palpatine mainly because he just murdered himself.
That's so dumb. Oh,
it was completely stupid.
And like, all the relationships between the characters, they were nothing. It was like, okay, so there's a little bit of little like head to head with Rey and Poe, but then the next scene, Poe's like, "You're the best fighter we have."
I know.
Like, every single,
God, I cringed when I heard that.
Every single character told Rey she was great in some way. Like Poe said it, Finn said it.
That
the
is
little
like the
fucking robot
definition.
they picked up said it. He was like, "Thank you. I miss her.
I miss her." Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
For everyone out there, that is the literal definition of a Mary Sue.
It is.
Yes.
Yes.
They wrote it into the fucking script.
Yeah.
The script was like, "Hey, let's have every character tell Rey she's so great," so the audience goes, "Oh, she is great," because the characters say so.
Except that they're not even friends, right? Like, they spend the entire movie treating each other like shit, but you're supposed to see them as friends. Like, the first thing that you see Poe and Rey do is get into this giant argument with one another, and like it's a literal like verge of catfight, and then suddenly, oh, it's all cool because they had nowhere else to go with it, so they knew they couldn't pursue it. Actually,
So they're like, drop.
If you're gonna do an argument like that with somebody, it wouldn't end as, oh, you know, you're frustrated. No, I mean, I'd be like, fuck out of here. I'm sick of your shit. I'm tired.
He was trying to do banter between the two characters. That's how I interpreted it.
It didn't work. And then later,
it didn't.
This was what ticked me off with Poe and Finn. Was there was this moment where they were talking about how Rey had taken off and she'd gone to go find the Wayfinder out and what was left of the Death Star wreckage by herself, and she went to do that by herself, and she shouldn't have done that. And Poe's like, well, what do you want us to do? And Finn's like, well, you don't understand her like Leia and I do. And Poe goes, well, I'm not Leia. And Finn was like, no, you're not. What an asshole thing to say to somebody who's supposed to be your friend. You're a complete dick right now. How are you people?
And where did it come from? Like, what did Poe do in that moment to deserve that? Like, it was strange. It was almost like there was maybe a scene that would explain why he was acting like that.
No. There was an entire movie. There was an entire movie that showed that for some reason they decided not to show it.
By the way, speaking of the Death Star scene, so first of all, apparently nobody could get there, and then everybody ended up there.
I know. That was so dumb.
And then Rey walks in, and the doors open for her. Like, it was just there. It was so easy.
Everything.
Operational.
And Kylo Ren has literally like been trying to track her since TFA, yet he just happened to be there with her. He's like, oh, hey, Kylo Ren's here. Let's fight.
Oh, no, he's just here.
What?
Lando and Luke were looking for something for 30 years, and all Rey had to do was fall through like a little, at like again McDonald's. She fell through the little balls, all the the balls that you
the ball pit,
ball pit. And by the way, how do they stay? If they fell through a cave, how does that stuff stay up?
I know. I was thinking the exact same thing when I saw that.
And what about the dagger? How does she know to like pull that little thing out of the dagger?
I know.
Like, so dumb.
I watched the movie. I watched the movie with my 8-year-old son. My 8-year-old son was like, he brought his Star Wars blanket. He was excited. He looked over to me whenever she lined that fucking dagger up, and he was like, Dad, what is this? This makes no sense. How does she line it up with what? So, I mean,
it doesn't make any
you didn't even get an 8-year-old.
It doesn't even make any sense. This thing was made back before the wreckage even existed, but it lines up with the wreckage.
I know. I that's another point where I laughed. I was like, this is really fucking stupid.
Every scene has something like that. You like, how did that happen? How did that happen? And see, normies are going to go see this, digest it a little bit, and go, "Oh, it's fun Star Wars." They seemed like they were real nice. This is the JJ has the ingredient to please normies. And they're not, but if like just the slightest thought about this movie, that's why, I started my review video and I'm like, I don't want to do a 2-hour review because that's what it would be. I'm just going to basically say, this is dumb. I'll get into a few details. What I said in my live stream is it plays out on film exactly how the leaks read, except the leaks are more in depth than the actual story.
There's more connective tissue in the leaks than there are in the fucking movie.
It in the opening scene, remember Krylo, it starts out, the dead speak, stupidest thing ever, and he goes straight to Palpatine. Palpatine has the first words in this thing. He goes back to the First Order, and there's supposed to be some anger between with Finn and Pride over Krylo wasting all the First Order's resources on this meandering chase. I guess that didn't make it in the film, but it made it in the leaks. So there's more stuff in the leaks, and actually some of the clips they released didn't have footage. Did anybody see Darth Vader? I don't know if that's a real clip or not, but they released there's a clip of Darth Vader and Kylo Ren.
No, but you hear his voice.
Well, if you read the leaks, there was supposed to be a scene that had him seeing Darth Vader.
Well, I haven't seen that
though. Well, really, a lot of people saw stuff.
Yeah, I've got the clip in my, but I don't know if it's a fan made thing. I don't know.
Audibly you can hear him audibly. That part where he's walking, he's like, and I am all the voices.
Yeah, we heard him. Yeah,
and he's talking about being all the Sith, and I need someone to explain this to me, like, because J.J. Abrams isn't going to do it. How the hell is it that Darth Vader is one of the Sith in there? That's like he's embodying all of these Sith. When Anakin Skywalker died a Jedi, he died a hero. Darth Vader doesn't exist anymore. Why is he in there? It doesn't.
This whole trilogy has forgotten.
Don't think about it. Don't think
from the beginning.
Yeah. Well, and here's the thing too.
Exactly.
Kylo is a Vader fanboy essentially from TFA. Okay. Kylo's a fanboy. He worships Vader. He worships everything Vader did. He doesn't understand that Vader, had his redemption. That's how we're supposed to. That's how it's presented to us. Okay. If Vader's master is suddenly alive, what the hell? Of course you're gonna freaking lose it, and he's gonna be like, "Holy shit! The Emperor wants me to join him.
Yes,
holy shit!"
He would have screamed in his little black emo pants and done whatever the hell he was told to do.
Yes, he would have lost his mind. But no, he's just like, oh, it's so bad. It's so bad.
Yeah. There's no connecting these movies. You can't connect them. They don't connect. These characters aren't the same characters from movie to movie. They're different.
And that's the biggest problem.
They look the same. They're not the same.
That's the biggest problem with this trilogy is that none of it connects and it's all a mess. And I specifically said this is exactly how it was going to be. And I'm 100% right. I said it's like a rap battle between JJ and Ryan Johnson. JJ did his first.
That's what it is.
Ryan came in and he's like, oh, man, I'm fixing to come at you 8 Mile style. And then Colin Trevorrow gets fired. JJ's like, fuck that. I can do my mic drop on Ryan. It's all it is a fucking rap battle against 2 douchebags that don't know anything about this shit. That's all it is. It's so bad. It's so bad.
But don't worry,
needs to make that video.
Yeah, don't worry. Everything will be explained in the novel.
Or a comic or something.
And the comic, and the webisode, and interviews.
That's what they're going to say in interviews. They're going to say, "Oh, don't worry, it's going to be explained in the novel." And
this is the problem with the internet is that storytellers have gotten so fucking lazy that they're either going to explain everything in, like you said, on the website, like what they did with fucking Watchmen, or they've always kind of done it in books and in comics too. But that's just so fucking lazy.
You know what? That website for Watchmen, by the way, that explained everything.
I'm gonna tell Disney how to fix this really quick. I just got this idea. So here's how they're gonna fix it. Okay, what we're gonna do is we're going to make another trilogy. All right, and with Rey Skywalker, and Rey is going to build up the Jedi Order again, and secretly what she's doing is she's doing what actually Palpatine did by manipulating. She is really a Palpatine, but she's going to be masquerading as a Skywalker, building up the Jedi Order again. All the while, she's only doing what Palpatine did back in the prequel era. And that's how you can salvage this, Disney. You're welcome. Then you can actually look like you know what the fuck you're doing. Make this bitch evil, all right? Make the Whammon evil. Make her manipulative. Make her the dark side. Make her the Sith Master.
Give her the fangs. Give her the fangs.
Yeah, because I mean, make her be like a make her be like a normal woman.
Exactly.
Make her be like a normal woman, vindictive, lying, you know, evil as fuck.
Yeah,
you all know.
Bitches be crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I say that.
Can we talk?
Go ahead.
Can we talk about force healing?
Yes.
What are your thoughts on force healing? Because I hate it.
It's stupid. It's a dumb power. It shouldn't exist. It
completely
makes everything dumb.
Well, look, there's no reason for anybody to ever die from now on, right?
Right.
Okay.
But you can just easily transfer your entity to another one. Like what they just did it so many times in this and so flippantly. Yeah. I said it on Twitter. I was like, force healing is so dumb and it's stupid to introduce it. And then people were like, oh, it's in the EU and stuff. It's like, okay, that's fine if it's in a game or if it's in a book or something. But if you bring it into the movies, it raises so many fucking questions. You're like, okay, there's Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon, there's Obi-Wan and Yoda standing over the dying body of Padme. There's Anakin's whole arc.
Why didn't Luke grow his hand back?
Well, okay, I can explain a lot of that.
What can you do and what can you not do?
Okay, the force healing thing was only supposed to be able to heal minor wounds. It can't regenerate limbs. It can't bring people back from the dead, and it can't save someone's life if they're mortally wounded. On top of that, not all Jedi had the ability, and that's the thing. There's no way she could have developed that power on her own. It had to be taught.
Right? Yeah. She has the books. She has the books, though. That'll be the way they explain it. She has the Jedi temple.
Right.
It's a very rare power, and they should not have brought into the movie because
she's a bookworm and she's going to read those books.
Well, I have to show. Like literally, freaking both of them can do it. Both her and Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren, who was like trained, he was a Sith, right? Like
they're a dyad. They're a dyad. That's how they explain it. Oh, they're a dyad.
Yeah. So my thing is that she says it so flippantly. Like the movie doesn't treat it like it's a special thing. The movie treats it like, how did you heal that? And she's like, oh, I just transfer some of my force energy. Yeah. You know, like day one training that every Jedi would know.
But it sucks energy out of everybody else, including Baby Yoda. But when she heals this giant monster, phallic symbol,
she's totally fine.
She healed the penis, by the way. That's what the symbolism there. It's all about the themes, right? So she healed the penis.
Right.
And and when she was fighting Kylo Ren on the Death Star thing, did you see the big erect penis behind her? That was a gun. That's the other thing. There was lots of that symbolism and the penis monster.
Hey, all the ships have planet destroying cannons on them, and they have to be destroyed.
So is a sexist confirmed. The patriarchy.
Another thing I think, at least I feel very strongly about this. Leia, Carrie Fisher should not have been in this movie.
No,
period.
That was shameful.
It was disgusting. Yeah. It was disgusting what they did. It derailed every scene. It was so bad.
It was very awkward.
So spoilers, and I mentioned this in my review. She dies of an overdose on the Force. I want you to think about this a little bit. She dies of an overdose of the Force. How did she die?
Gary, the first line in the crawl, the dead speak.
Yep.
Like, I mean, it's the lack of self-awareness is unbelievable. This should have started out, honestly, like you do your opening crawl, and the movie should start out, and the opening crawl should mention that General Organa has passed away, even though I hate General. But General Organa passed away. Yeah. And it opens up with her funeral. We don't see her.
Yes.
They're paying their respects. And this is also the audience's way to truly pay their respects to Carrie Fisher. It opens up on a really emotional, moment. It kind of draws everybody in, because it's like, all right, we're pulled in, and then we kind of move on. How do we move on without Leia?
You had Poe trying to sort out how he leads this resistance moving forward. You give him a legitimate character arc instead of some bullshit backstory that you never even explore, right?
Yeah. That's also how you build tension, though.
Contrivance. Look, the Carrie Fisher,
and then just the guy that follows Rey. So that's all he did.
the Leia thing doesn't even make sense within the context of how they present it, because they present it like she's doing it. She's giving her life in order to save Ben.
Yeah.
But it doesn't even save him. It's not even what saves him. In fact, it's nearly what kills him. He only turns back to the light after his Force vision of his father several minutes later. It doesn't even work within the story you're showing us, you flipping moron.
Okay, this is another thing I blame Ryan
It's like
Johnson
all the other
for,
characters
because
explaining what she's doing too.
Yeah, he's the one who introduced that. Basically, if you use the Force too much, you die, because that's basically what happened with Luke. And so JJ carried on with that, because that whole thing is bullshit. The idea that because Rey was deflecting the Force lightning back over to Palpatine and then she dies because of that.
Why?
That made no fucking sense.
No, yeah.
And then for Kylo Ren to bring her back and then he dies, it's like, Jesus fucking Christ, this doesn't make any sense. This is so retarded.
Between these two movies, we saw a total of 4 force yourself to deaths, right? Luke does it, Leia does it, freaking Rey does it, and then Ben Solo.
So why doesn't Rey disappear when she dies?
Do what?
Why doesn't Rey disappear when she dies?
Exactly. Well, they gotta bring her back.
It's because she's not a Jedi.
Plot convenience. That's why it's a plot.
How is this a victory when the entire Solo family dies? How did Han Solo come back, and how did his hair grow in the afterlife in the Force vision? So somebody in my chat
How
earlier
did Luke's
today
hair grow?
That's what I said.
Luke's hair was longer.
Luke looked like a comic shop owner. In that, I'm sorry. He like,
tell me about how you
don't bang your heads on the display cabinet, please.
I thought he was an extra drummer for the Grateful Dead or something.
Right? Oh my God. So Han Solo, for one, he looked great. Harrison Ford looked great. But how is a full-fledged vision there communicating its conscious? So somebody in my chat said, well, that was Leia projecting that, which would have been nice if they explained it. Still wouldn't have worked for me at all. But I mean, it would have been a better explanation than it just fucking happened. And we're just going to be okay with that. And of course, Kylo can be redeemed. All he did was kill his dad. And then the entire Solo family dies. But this is a victory somehow. I don't get it. What government do we have at the end of this, by the way? There's no government. The New Republic is gone.
Don't ask questions.
Is it actually gone?
Yeah, they killed the whole planet. They talked about they killed
the Hosnian Prime
system. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just the other 6 planets.
Nothing was reestablished.
You know how much thought was put into that?
Absolutely
Jar Jar
nothing.
Abrams said, I want to blow up 6 planets instead of 1. Yeah, that's it.
Yep.
Yeah, that'd be awesome, bro. That sounds great, man.
Hey, bro.
What about 100 Star Destroyers? Right? What if all 100 Star Destroyers had, like, they could destroy planets? Yeah,
None of this works because it doesn't even have a point, right? There's no point to any of this because we wind up exactly where we did before, right? Exactly where we did before, with one exception. Now, Luke and Anakin's sacrifice and part in this story is null and void, and Rey is the chosen one. So we wind up exactly where we did before, but guys, hang with me here. The hero's a woman. Isn't it great?
Oh,
yeah.
Oh,
they remade Star Wars worse with more girls. That's it. And and unfortunately, a woman was responsible for this disaster.
Fuck me in my left ear. I can't take this anymore.
The same thing happened. You guys fortunately missed Star Trek Discovery Season 2, where we had an entire season of Spock telling Michael Burnham, who is the Rey of Star Trek, how awesome she was for well, it was an entire season. It was most of it. We'll say most of it. Yes, that scene where Poe gets mad at Rey for being away because she's so awesome. You're so awesome. We need you here. You don't understand how awesome.
You're the best fighter we have.
No. Oh my God.
Well, he's also being Poe.
Yeah.
How could Poe say that? Poe, you are the best fighter that you have. What are you talking about?
Yeah, remember when he was the best pilot they had? Remember when he was considered to be the best, and then his character arc went to crap in The Last Jedi, and now it's
Can we have a moment? Can we have a moment of silence for John Boyega? Poor guy. He's just never going to get that ass. He's never going to get it. I mean, this dude's chasing Rey all over the fucking galaxy. He will do things that no human should do, and she just doesn't care. Yet meanwhile, he's got every other chick in the galaxy he's trying to hook up with him, and he's like,
so thirsty. He is so thirsty though, because now it's every female he runs across. Now, granted, there's only like 4 or 5 of them that are within bangable range, but I'm just saying, every chick this guy runs across, he's suddenly completely enamored with. He's so thirsty, and it is pathetic.
Also, but now that he's more sensitive, now he can sense all the women. He can sense all the women in the galaxy.
Yeah, all of them.
Force zapping.
Friend zoned again.
We did get one explanation.
Third time in a row.
We did get one explanation. I mentioned it in my review. Sorry for repeated information to some, but we do know how Shmi Skywalker got knocked up now, because Palpatine shot his semen through the Force Skype message. So you can pass objects now. So he shot his seed into Shmi. We call it getting Shmi'd now. So that was where the Immaculate Conception. We have Force semen.
And the whole time he was yelling,
you.
do it.
Yes.
And by the way, so if Force Ghosts can strike lightning, if they can catch lightsabers, if they can lift X-wings, why the fuck don't they just start fighting and helping? I mean, they literally are.
Where the fuck are they?
Jeremy, you know what that is? That's a question.
And you're not allowed to ask those questions.
You need to stop.
Stop right
I'm
there.
not question asking, Jeremy.
You're thinking for yourself again, Jeremy. Stop.
What was
no point
that did that video? They were like, "I love this. This is great. We're having a great time."
I can't stop smiling.
The only difference in the Force Ghost now, it's just that they have a glowy substance around them now. That's it. Like, they literally are. They're humans. They're there. They're in the story. They can do everything that anybody else can do. Obi-Wan point blank says in the original trilogy, he can't help Luke. But
yeah.
People made fun of the fact that Obi-Wan just sat down.
Here's what blows my mind.
Like, back in the day, they made fun of that. Like,
wait, hang on just a minute, guys. Hang on. Hello. Oh, sorry. Okay. Hey guys, The Rise of Skywalker is a great film. It's a masterpiece. J.J. Abrams is the greatest storyteller of the 21st or 22nd, maybe 23rd, 28th century. And Rey is the bestest Jedi ever.
Can we get a round of applause?
Bob Iger. They got the Jeremy, folks.
Round of applause for
They got the Jeremy.
Oh, sorry. Jazz hands.
Robert Iger. Yeah, Robert Iger is an exceptional CEO, and Kathleen Kennedy is the greatest leader of our time. All hail, respect women. I'm going to donate to every woman's charity now. Thank you.
Kathleen Kennedy 2020.
Jeremy, blink 3 times if there's men with guns in your area pointing them at you, and you need extraction.
I want Bob Iger to become president.
Guys, I have to stop. I have to keep smiling.
I want Bob Iger to become. Bob Iger can become president and make Jar Jar Abrams his Secretary of State, and we can get into a mystery box war with the country. That'd be nice.
Mystery box war.
I look forward to Bob Iger's rule. What's he going to do though? Buy countries? Because that's all he buys things very well and just fucks them up. So
I feel like that reminded me that
on Uganda.
That reminded me. I don't remember.
It's I'll buy that.
I think this is on Mad. I think this is on Mad TV. I think it's on Mad
Uganda.
I think this is on Mad TV a long time ago, but I remember a skit where they're at Disney World, dad and a son, and the dad wants to meet Mickey Mouse, and the line is long, and the dad's like, we don't have time. And the kid's like, I want to go. He's just making a big deal. So the dad goes to the Mickey Mouse. He's like, hey, look, line's long. Could you tell me where the other Mickey Mouse is? Because, I know there's another Mickey Mouse. He's like, there are no other Mickey Mouses. I'm the only Mickey Mouse. He goes, no, I get it for character reasons, but there's got to be another Mickey Mouse somewhere. Keeps hounding him. Then Mickey finally like, all right, guy, look, leans over and he goes, the other Mickey Mouse. And before he could say it, a bullet goes through his head.
Oh, that's great.
I think that was Mad TV. If anybody
remembers
what
I've seen that. I've seen that. Yeah.
Okay. Send me tell me what to find in the comments. Like, what do I search? Because I don't think it's on YouTube. It's probably been taken down, but it was hilarious. It was so long ago.
I'm sorry, that's like just stuck in my head now. The people who put it up on YouTube and Mad TV had the bullet go through their head too.
They probably did. They probably did.
Oh man.
And I just really quick want to welcome everybody to Friday Night Tights. I know there's always a lot to choose from, and I thank you for choosing us. We have Fat Gandalf and Mikey Woods and his wrench, Mr. T, that's spelled T-E-A. What's up, Mikey Woods? Who we met in New York. Garrett and Jeremy.
Cool guy.
Rhino's Youth, a member and a patron. Welcome. Gordy Skymop, Python 085, Tony NZ, Keck 44, and a lot of other people, and some nobody. So.
Jeremy's social credit score is negative 1,000 for Disney.
Gotta keep smiling. Oh my lordy! So I have to see this movie again, which sucks to do my video review. Thankfully, the leaks are so perfect. I mean, I could just use them as notes. The problem is I don't want to be misled because, again, they provide more context to a scene than the actual film does. One of the other things Jar Jar does, another thing he forgot was Finn was going to tell something to Rey, and he didn't want to tell it in front of Poe. He never finished his thought.
No, he never did.
Yeah,
that was
never
dumb.
finished his thought.
Dropped storyline.
So much was dropped, and I don't know if you guys noticed or not. It was the worst edited film I've ever seen. Lucasfilm, when it's one of their things involved in, like I'm talking Raiders of the Lost Ark and everything they've done. Not special effects stuff, but Lucasfilm stuff. The editing was god awful. I think that was because of the reshoots. I am now convinced more than ever that 75% of this film was reshot. There's a couple of shots where like C-3PO is saying goodbye to R2-D2, and they shoot it in a way. I'll have to screen grab it. They shoot in a way it's just ridiculous. They have it's like when I make one of my thumbnails, I have like Jar Jar Abrams in front, and then I copy and paste like George in the back, like on this one. That's what they did with R2, and like C-3PO saying goodbye to him as he's walking away. And that's it. And by the way, where was R2 in this film?
R2 keeps getting the shaft. What's up with that?
Mm-hmm. He was at the base the entire time.
Yeah, I know. And he was doing nothing. And that, God damn, those Leia scenes. So that's what I wanted to circle back to. Those Leia scenes. They were all bad, like horrifically bad. But the one where they told Greg Gutfeld to be positive, be more positive.
Oh my God, that felt so awkward.
You could
tell.
They had to write it in a way to lead him. For one, they didn't have that much footage of her. They were talking about, we have all this footage of Carrie.
It's pretty apparent that they didn't.
Yeah.
They had every character saying what Leia really meant. You're like, oh, well, Leia would say this. It's like, Leia's right there, apparently, right? Why is she saying it?
It was so frustratingly obvious that they had to really just work around what they had. And it was bad. It's like it didn't make any sense. And I'm pretty sure those scenes are not going to age very well as time goes on.
They didn't age the second after I saw them. Okay,
it's going to get worse.
I like Leia. I know we all like Leia here. Princess Leia, one of the original badasses in film. Much respect for Carrie Fisher.
One of the best.
I actually like her work outside of Hollywood, talking about addiction and stuff like that. She's brilliant lady. I respect the hell out of her. This did her no justice. They should have never put her in her, and all this reverence we had for Leia was so overdone. I'm sorry, especially when you're not mentioning Luke at all or Han at all. And they were just completely forgotten and meaningless and stepstones for Rey. All this freaking 1,000 Jedis live in Rey. You ever heard of Alan Smithy? Anybody know who Alan Smithy is? This might be too old for you guys, but Alan Smithy is a director name that directors use when they want to take their name off a picture. So if you see something directed by Alan Smithy,
I do remember that.
Yeah, 1,000 Alan Smithies live in Jar Jar Abrams. He is the worst filmmaker in Hollywood. This proves it. Listen, I know he wasn't given a lot of time. He was given 2 years to make this, less than 2 years. It was on a hard deadline. They should have delayed this thing another year.
Should have delayed it
completely, in my opinion. But
indefinitely.
But you know what? It's going to please the normies, and that's the frustrating thing. I don't know how well it's going to do financially. I'm hearing stuff that there's empty theaters and
I
don't know in the chat. So
it opened pretty strong. It opened at 40 million, which is the 5th highest opening Thursday, but that is 5 million behind The Last Jedi's Thursday and 12, right? Or is it 17 million behind TFA, right, Odin?
Just about, yeah. And it's expected to make $90 million total with the Friday numbers, which has the tracking now at 190 to 195, which would put that
not good.
That would put that about $25 to $30 million behind The Last Jedi, which, by the way, you have to add into the fact that it's already doing behind The Last Jedi in China, where it could potentially in China not make as much as Solo. Could potentially.
Whoa.
Question.
Yeah. Punch the shorts, man.
It was that kiss of the death. That was the kiss of the death at the end when all the
that kiss at the end.
That's what they called it. That's what they called it.
It did. They made a huge hoopla in the media today about how they kept the censors did not cut that kiss. But here's the thing. Of course, China's not going to have a problem with two women kissing. I'm just saying.
Yep.
Yeah.
If that was two. If it was two guys, it wouldn't have made it. No chance.
Yeah.
I'm just being honest.
We'll see how the Eternals does over there.
Yeah.
If they do any
right.
Dude on dude macking. But
I gotta say, the theater I went to, there was like 10 people in it. And it was an 11 o'clock showtime. Opening night, 10 people in the auditorium.
Well, it's a school night.
Still, though, it's Star
Thursday,
Wars.
Yeah, Thursday night.
It's Star Wars, and it's an opening night for Star Wars.
Yeah,
I worked at a movie theater for 10 years. Star Wars does bank. This did not do bank, at least anecdotally.
I wound up going in, and because I won't get into how exactly, I didn't sneak into the theater, but I didn't pay for my ticket. And so when I was escorted into the theater, I had my pick. I could have sat in any row with no one on either side of me. Wow. And there was no one in the back row.
My theater was packed. I did do a screenshot before I left. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to take a picture because of, what happened with the accident and it being like 20 minutes late. But my theater was actually packed. So I don't really see there being any ghost seats in my theater.
And I was about 75% full. My theater was, but that was in a 3D showing. There's an IMAX showing that was sold out for like 6:30 or whatever it was. So, but I wasn't paying for IMAX because I was just spending money.
I'm not saying that like it's not going to be selling out. Whenever I was working there, every single showtime for Force Awakens was sold out. Period. Every single one. So if like the first 5 of the night for this one sells out, and then you've got trickling off throughout the night, that's unusual for Star Wars.
Yeah,
it is. Make sense. Last Jedi.
I mean, it totally makes sense from quality standpoint, but
yeah. I got a ticket like last minute. I bought a ticket to Last Jedi the night of, and I found a single seat at a 9:30 show that was added on the Thursday night. 10 miles from my house, which is like it's like 50 miles for anybody normally here in San Francisco. It's just hard to travel here. So, but yeah, everything else was sold out, even the 11 o'clock shows, and the next show after mine, half the theater was open. Now, I had a full theater, but it was like 75 to 80% full. It said it was sold out. It was clearly not. There was plenty of empty seats on the side and towards the front. I think they do that on purpose. I'm not sure. And I don't care. Listen, if it makes money, whatever. Still sucks.
Yeah.
It doesn't change my opinion of it at all.
It doesn't change the fact.
Something making money doesn't make it good.
My theater I go to, only one screening is sold out, and it's the 8:30 screening. 9 o'clock is mostly full. Let me see what 9:30 looks like.
I'll check. Also, I just wanted to. So it's an important night. We've been building. I mean, the Fandom Menace and we've all been talking about this for a couple of years. So I'm going to keep the conversation flowing. I'm going to mix in super chats here and there, but we're going to focus on, because I just thought the conversation was so good, just to let everybody know. But we'll get to you guys. Okay, we're not forgetting about you, and thank you for being here. We appreciate you. And I will check my local theater as well.
I'm gonna check the 11 o'clock and see what they got.
Yeah, and while they're checking that, I can say just on those China numbers again, Solo in China made $16.5 million in its entire run. The current Chinese prognosticators are saying that they expect Skywalker by the end of its run to make 17.8. So it might make $1 million more than Solo did And I'm not saying that means that it's going to make solo numbers domestically, because it's not. It's going to make a lot more money domestically. But if you're not getting the money in China, and if your numbers are behind domestically, and I'm assuming they'll be behind elsewhere, we're looking at a film that, as the numbers come in, more and more likely might not cross $1 billion, which I think is
that's what
big.
I was wondering was if this would actually look, because you're talking about there are so many repeat viewings that are lost for this movie. I mean, like, seriously, this movie viewings for this are just not going to happen.
No,
it's not. Who would want to watch this twice? It's a complete shit show. Like, even when you're not talking about the mythology breaking and that's going on, and even if you're not a hardcore fan and you're going to this to have a sort of popcorn flick or whatever, people who may have still gone to see it twice are still going to feel very jarred by this movie, are still going to feel like they had a really hard time just keeping the hell up with it. And so I really think that the repeat viewings of this are going to be in the dirt. And I'm not saying that it won't hit $1 billion. I'm not even saying that I would be surprised if it hit $1 billion. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is that I now think it's possible it might not.
Well, if you just take, so I did some math on this already. And so basically, if you just compare opening weekend domestically to opening weekend of The Last Jedi made $1.3 billion in total. So this is not a perfect method by any means. I know there's some people that might call me out on it, but we're looking at the film making 10%, if not more, less money than what The Last Jedi made. And so if you take that 10% less than what the film made overall, $1.3 billion, that would put the number at $1.1 billion, which is the range that I currently have is 850 to 1.1.
Yeah.
So if the numbers hold out, if the numbers are consistent with what we get opening weekend and it's down elsewhere and across the world, this film is probably have a max of $1.1 billion potentially.
Wow.
That's interesting. I wonder what kind of a number you can put on like what the work we've done here on YouTube and people have done on Twitter and other places. That's got to be a number they've tried to figure out. See, Disney Star Wars, I've talked about it before, has had this thing called lost sales, and these are things CEOs think about. This is the one thing that keeps them up at night, is all that money they could have had. So, you know, while people are throwing Last Jedi numbers at us, and these are all still good numbers, they aren't great for Star Wars and its future. They wanted these new characters to work and be legendary. They wanted to do better than George Lucas, so they can ride the wave of this initial success and then branch things out. Right now, the brand is damaged. They're going to be starting from scratch. You might as well just start with something original. You'd probably have a better shot than what you're going to be doing in the future with Star Wars. I think they're going to muck around in the past a lot, but your main story is now meaningless. As Mary said, it's pointless.
It is
pointless story.
So is.
And it's a very similar end to Game of Thrones. You just, all that repeat viewing of Game of Thrones is down the tubes. The Blu-ray sales are lost. And much of the value of HBO Max was there because of Game of Thrones. And Star Wars and Disney Plus are the same thing. Thankfully, Marvel's there to pick up the slack for Star Wars, but that's not what they want. That's not the situation that Disney wanted to be in.
No.
And these things cost a lot of money to make. So I wouldn't be,
especially with this movie with all the reshoots, man. You know, this got to be very costly.
Oh yeah, I'm just pulling a number out of my ass, but I'm thinking the $600 million this thing cost to make. You double with the marketing and everything.
Yeah. So the current estimates have it around 350 because, of course, they're not going to release it anytime soon. But The Last Jedi cost $308 million. So I would say that's being very generous at 350. But even if it was 350, yeah, you would be putting it up close to the $600 million range for its total cost, which means the film needs to make $1 billion. If it is indeed that low, which I think it might be higher, 400 or higher production budget, that means the film will need to make over $1 billion to break even.
Break even.
Damn. Yeah.
What?
That is ridiculous.
Can you imagine the hashtag Rise of Skywalker lost money?
No. At this point, we'll just say Star Wars lost money.
I am praying because I want to make that video so badly.
Star Wars lost money.
Yeah.
Oh my God! I literally felt joy for the first time in 2 days. That was great.
That's God. Yes, I want to get my goddamn Rise of Skywalker video done so I can talk about The Witcher and other stuff.
Oh God, Witcher's so good. But
other things, yes.
One last
thing.
It's
funny because the media, the Access Media is complaining about The Witcher, saying it's terrible.
Who's saying it's terrible?
The Access Media.
Of course they are.
Of course, yeah. Even though there are hints of, I mean, there's strong female characters throughout.
Yeah, there's girl bosses everywhere.
But it's interesting because they'll say something that you would think is woke, but then all of a sudden something happens to them, and you're like, oh, it's brought balance to that. I like that.
Yep.
I'm okay with them saying something strong and saying the world of men does this, the world of men does that, but then they lose. It's like, no, that's good. That's balance. That's a good way of writing a story. It's not just all one-sided. So, but yeah, but one last thing about the Star Wars thing. There is a world, and I'm praying that it happens, where Joker, which costs $55 million to make, could have made more money than Rise of Skywalker. We're not there yet, but here's hoping.
Oh my God,
that
would be great. Yes. If that does indeed happen, that would probably make Warner Brothers rethink their little contract with Jar Jar Abrams. And I mean, they can't get out of it or anything, but I bet you they would put budget restrictions on. They're going to do that anyway, because that's their whole. I keep forgetting the guy's name who they got Me Too'd out of there by. Jar Jar Abrams' wife, and he was the one who was going in there because he made all those horror films which turned major profits on limited budgets, and that's what they wanted him to do with the superhero films. And Joker was one of those films, and it proves that it works, and you can get a good movie out of it. But if Jar Jar gets there, all that guy does is spend money. There's no shot he doesn't like. Obviously, we just watched that movie. Father Christopher Miller for $2 says, Ben, Obi-Wan, Luke, body disappears. When does I think you got mixed there. Okay, so Ben, Obi-Wan, Luke, body disappears. When die, not Leia's.
When Leia dies, her body stuck around.
No, until Ben fades. Until
Ben fades. Until later.
Conveniently. Yeah, right before the scene that she's a Force ghost in, she happens to fade because I guess JJ was like, well, her body has to fade because that's the only way that a Force ghost can happen. Oh, okay, thanks.
She was waiting for her son.
Yeah.
I got a story that's the only moment that I felt something, and it wasn't because of the film. All right. So my pops passed away 18 years ago, 2 days ago. Creepy, and fuck cancer, killed my dad. I miss him, but it's been a long time now. So, and when he passed away, his mom passed away. My Grammy passed away 2 minutes after he died.
Oh,
and she wasn't sick. She was sleeping. So it was one of the weirdest moments, and it was a cool moment. So it made me think of that a little bit. And it's like right around the anniversary of it. And I went, oh, but, still, within the film, it makes no goddamn sense. That, for one, why would you leave her body there for so long? Like, how long was she there?
Bugs, again, man, fucking bugs.
No sense of time. Jar Jar Abrams, there's no sense of time.
You're in the forest.
Yeah, I guess.
Yep.
I guess.
It was her horsepower. In death, it protected her from bug bites. Everyone knows this, guys. It was in the novel. You didn't read the novel?
It was in the comic book. No, it was in the children's novel. I'm sorry.
Right.
The Whammon of Star Wars.
It was in the mental enema we were all given.
So, passing objects through the Force. How do you feel about this, Pam?
I thought it in the context of the movie was dumb. I thought that the way it was executed was kind of cool, but it's not a Force power though. That's no.
Yeah, it's not a Force.
It was executed really cool. Like,
it was cool. It was fucking cool.
Look, I'm not saying it didn't look cool, but here's the problem with this.
Yeah, it was dumb.
The Force can do anything now, guys. The Force is now an ex machina. There is absolutely no problem that you cannot overcome with it. You write a little Force power into the script, guys. You just write another little Force power into the script, and bam, problem solved. The Force has no weight anymore. It doesn't mean anything. It's limitless, and so the Force is Jesus, right? Like there's no reason why you can't do anything anymore, and it completely and utterly destroys the weight of anything. it's so destructive to the mythos. That's one of the reasons why I hate this movie so much, is because it is so destructive to the mythos behind us and even moving forward. Because now you have to do some bullshit to get around this crap. Well, why don't you just force it to me?
Yeah. Well, I used to play this RPG called Mage the Ascension, and one of the powers is called correspondence. Yes, nerd. Which correspondence is basically about all things being connected, and essentially you could do that with correspondence. So I from that kind of aspect, I thought it was cool. From it being in a Star Wars movie, I thought it was bullshit.
It was fucking stupid.
It
makes
stupid.
No sense. How can you pass a physical object through the Force?
Well, you can do it with magic. That makes sense, but not the Force.
Well, no, we're not talking about magic. We're talking about midichlorians. Force, midichlorians. By the way, that's canon. Just because they don't bring it up, George Lucas made it canon, so it is done, whether you like it or not.
And then completely forgotten about.
And
too, they are now one step away from Force teleportation.
Yep.
Because if you can teleport objects, you should be able to teleport people, because they're already projecting their images. So why can't they just move their entire bodies?
That's exactly where we're headed with it. So no need for travel. You can. It's like playing Minecraft on God mode, right? Like it sucks all the fun out of it. It sucks all the fun out. I mean, sure, it's cool for a few minutes because you can do whatever you like. But then when it's over, you're just like, well, now there's nothing fucking left to do. Why the hell am I even playing this game? Let me go find something else.
Yeah.
By the way, there is actually such a thing as force teleportation.
Oh, there is?
Yes, there is. Stuff? It's a very rare power, though.
Okay. Well, see, I'm okay if it's if it's something that only one person has ever accomplished. But if it's something that Rey can do it because she can do everything, and then because her and Kylo are this dyad thing, that means that he can do it too because they can share powers now. Apparently, yeah.
Oh, that dyad.
Those
thing.
explanations.
Oh, God.
Those explanations for like force powers piss me off a little bit. Like it's like one person can do it, and it's super rare or something. You had thousands of years of the Jedi Order. There's like Jedi archives. There's the Jedi, all the library. You're gonna tell me that they didn't know that, and they weren't like, hey, let's try to train some people. It's like the healing one, the teleportation. They never figured that out over thousands of years. Like, come on.
Yeah. Also, you basically confirm that you could have brought Luke back because you could have just made that a power. If you're already going to do the object transfer in this film, you might as well just say, oh, he transferred himself and he's still alive, and now it can be fully his arc. And you know what would have been a much more powerful ending? Either him sacrificing himself or him staring at those twin sons at his old house. That would have been a moving moment, not freaking BB-8 and Rey Skywalker.
Oh God, that was.
How about force time travel? Can we force time travel before this?
Oh, I'm sure they thought about it.
Yeah.
Just go to Rebels if you're looking for the time travel.
Yep. Yeah, because you can walk in between. God, what is it again? Yeah, they did the time travel thing in Rebels already. So, and time travel in Star Wars is terrible. It's terrible. It just doesn't belong there. The problem with Star Wars is Disney built something. It had a world. They got rid of it, and now and the thing was, the EU guys, I love you. I know the EU was out there and it built the fabric of Star Wars even beyond George Lucas. George Lucas has no idea what he created anymore. Let's be clear. I don't think George Lucas knows everything in the EU, although he signed off on everything. You didn't have a singular person, a singular voice building this world like Tolkien or George R.R. Martin or Gene Roddenberry in the beginning. It was kind of a hodgepodge, and Disney bought it thinking they didn't have to. I mean, the reason they paid $4 billion for Star Wars is because they thought they had this built-in thing, and they're like, what, we got to do work? Huh? Oh, that thing we threw away? We shouldn't have? Oh, shit. And not to explain it away, they shouldn't have done that. And the reason Jar Jar Abrams does this is he doesn't want to do the work. He's lazy. He's lazy. I mean, he's just throwing shit in there. He calls himself a Star Wars fan. He is like the casual dude bro Star Wars fan who watched the movies back in the 70s, really liked them, but maybe bought a couple of action figures, but kind of got out of that phase when he was 14 and got into girls or whatever and never went back. He's that kind of Star Wars fan, and not the kind that should be running Star Wars. And we see who should be running Star Wars, but I mean, it's done. It's done. I don't know about you guys, but this is the thing I'm thinking. I mean, I'm not a Star Wars fan anymore. I'm not going to buy any of this stuff. Sure, I could be lured back. At some point, I could have been lured back, but I can't be now. So forging ahead, I don't know what I'm going to do as far as talking about it on the channel. I'm taking it day by day. I still have to review the film, might cover some news here and there, finish up The Mandalorian, but I might be right back to where I was a year ago. It's like, I don't give a fuck. I could care less.
You could watch those movies I sent you.
Yeah.
You know, watch the specialized editions I sent you.
Yes. By the way, thank you. Yes, by the way,
look at that.
I appreciate that.
After this,
Odin is such a nice Christian boy.
He really is.
Yes.
Yeah,
he's a sweetheart.
Yeah, Comix. I still need to send yours back out, but
all right. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Thank you, my friend.
Sharing's
by the way,
great.
and you know what? I'll spend the holidays doing that, but I need to watch Lord of the Rings again just to cleanse my palate and see something great. And you know, aside from catching up on The Witcher and doing a Wokeman review, because I mean, I went from Wokeman, like The Expanse started everything great. It was brilliant. It was better than I thought it would be. Then the Wokeman went down to levels I didn't know wokeness could go. And those were salty little live streams Doomcock and I did too, by the way. Kind of some of the saltiest I've ever had on my channel because of the territory it takes us to. So that'll be a fun review. But then back to this mess, which was just a mess. And that's all it was. It was a mess. Again, I'm not as angry as I was after The Last Jedi. I'm just like more exasperated at this point. Just like, what the fuck?
I have a really funny analogy that kind of sums how everything went with Disney Star Wars. I described it as basically Rian Johnson storming into the cockpit of a plane, grabbing the yoke and just forcing the plane down, straight down. And basically it's getting ready to hit the hit the ground and explode. JJ bursts through the door, grabs the yoke, pulls up, and instead of like the plane crashing straight into the ground, it shears off the bottom half.
I mean,
yeah. And where everybody still dies.
And then it blows up.
Yeah.
Then it blows up at the end.
Like you just got two psychos running around in the cockpit screaming like maniacs.
People are asking what's up with me tonight. I am tired as hell, but I've also been reason I've been off camera is I'm trying to get other work done that I'm behind on. I've been live streaming like crazy lately when I don't live stream that often unless I'm doing it on somebody else's channel. But I'm here and I'll add my sarcasm, here and there. By the way, somebody just in a super chat said Christopher Nolan needs to come in and save it. No, I don't think Christopher Nolan is the right fit for Star Wars.
He's great though.
Yeah. Oh, I worship Christopher Nolan, but yeah, no. No one individual can save Star Wars right now. There has to be a cleansing from Lucasfilm from top to bottom, from the personnel, from the ideology, from everything. It just needs to be a clean slate.
It needs to become something new.
That's what right? Like that's the whole reason why they didn't bother to try to do this in 2 movies, right? Why they didn't do, part 1 and 2 or episodes 9 and 10, because they wanted to wash their hands of it. They wanted to be done with it. So they didn't want to extend this out any further. They didn't want to do justice by it. They didn't want to try to legitimately end this in a way that would please people, please everyone, which I still think you could have done if you'd broken this up into a couple movies and taken your time with it. They want to wash their hands of it. That's what they want too, right? But for me, I'm not going to be moving forward with any level of optimism. Everything from here on out. Look, Kathleen Kennedy needs to go. She needs to go. And you're not going to get any more of my damn money at this point until you do something phenomenal. Because even if you give this movie the absolute benefit of the doubt and you call it mediocre, which is what it is at best, we're talking about fracking Star Wars here, people. We're talking about Star Wars, not a movie. Not a movie. Trilogy.
We're talking about motherfucking Star Wars.
Trilogy.
That's what we're talking about. We deserved so much more than at best mediocrity. And so they wanted to wash their hands of us. And that's what they want us to do. They want us to forget. They want us to walk away from this trilogy and in a few years come back to something else. But here's my little message for you guys. Fuck you in the left ear. I care. I don't care anymore. You have to do something extraordinary to bring me back at this point. Because otherwise, I'm just going to go back and I'm going to chill with the stuff that I know works and the stuff that makes me happy. So screw you.
Yeah. One thing.
Hey, look, it's like this. Look, it's like this. It's like this. Okay. I mean, I know we're getting a Lord of the Rings TV show or whatever, and I'm not really sure how that's going, but that's neither here nor there. I don't think Lord of the Rings mega fans are like sitting and holding their breath for this TV series per se. They're probably excited, which is fine. But at the end of the day, you have your books, you have the amazing all-time great, trilogy from Peter Jackson. And then you have the Hobbit, which is, kind of, I feel like that's viewed more like the prequels were always viewed. Like there's some people that are okay. I feel like the prequels had always had more defenders of them than the Hobbit trilogy has. But ultimately, the Hobbit trilogy, it is what it is. Point is, you have that content of the Lord of the Rings. You're not having any new content outside of this TV series, but it still doesn't change the fact you have that content and you can enjoy it. The OT is there. The prequels are there. The Clone Wars is there. Yes, we have season 7, which is still a concern, but the content is there. The EU is there, and you can enjoy it. And you as an individual can decide if you want to have Disney's nonsense is canon or not. But it doesn't change your impact on what has happened before. If you allow it to, it does. But it's up to you to just discard that shit and, appreciate what we've had in the past, and nothing's ever going to take away from that.
Yeah, and I think that the one really great thing we've been getting from critics is that even the ones that are being, critical, praising, there's almost one universal truth, and that is they all agree that there was no plan. There was obviously no plan throughout this process.
Clear.
And if that is not enough, and we'll look at the box office, we'll see what happens. But if that's not enough for Kathleen Kennedy to take an early retirement, I don't know what else is.
Hey,
we were all right. We were all right.
Yep. And the Access Media can fuck right off because they're starting to come out now. Right. I've been reading a lot of reviews and so you want character development now, critics. Oh, you want it now. So that's one of your concerns. It wasn't your concern last movie, wasn't concerned the movie before. But now you're talking about Rey being a possibly overpowered and some nonsensical force powers. Oh, well,
now that it's completely undeniable.
Yep.
Well, there's another thing too that is pretty undeniable too, is the fact that this movie went the direction it did because of the fandom menace, and basically we yelled, Disney blinked, and they course corrected as much as they possibly could. So I think that's something that is actually pretty amazing to come out of this. It shows that us as fans truly do have power.
They course corrected in The Mandalorian. The whole fan service argument for the Rise of Skywalker is bullshit. That's Jar Jar Abrams service.
Yeah, what
it's
fan
not fan service? Yeah, Palpatine coming back as fan
There's
service.
There's like Lando. Lando being in it is not fan service.
No, he should have been in it. He should have been in the first two.
Why wasn't he in the first
two? Yeah, they should have focused. I mean, we all have gone over this ad infinitum.
Yeah.
They should have focused on the original 3. Lando should have been there. They should have peppered in the new characters more and more as time went on. You didn't need to kill anybody. Luke could go off and train younglings. He's just too old to go in the day-by-day battle. Listen, Robert Meyer Burnett did a live stream a couple days ago. He brought up something that I brought up before. It's too big to succeed. Disney is too big of a corporation to make something like Star Wars successful, as in beyond financially, making everybody happy, continually selling toys and merchandise for years and years to come, decades to come. There's now an expiration date on Star Wars. There is 10 years. Nobody's going to give a shit about this. The Mandalorian will run its course. Maybe Obi-Wan will be good. Maybe it won't. We don't know that for sure. Deborah Chow seems like she's pretty good. The movies, I think it's 50-50 if the movies are going to do good, and they can go deep into the lore. Old Republic, that's going to be a tough sell because what you're selling, because what Star Wars is science fiction and fantasy, and to build that from the ground up is tough with the normies. You have a little bit of advantage because of those words Star Wars, but that doesn't mean as much as it used to. Look at how hard of a sell Game of Thrones was. Forget the later seasons. In the beginning, it was very good. And it took 4 seasons for people to finally get into that show.
Yeah.
So
but that's not always the thing too, because Solo had a character's name, but it was not the actor. So you're absolutely right, because now they're moving forward and they say, oh, we're moving past this. We're not doing trilogies anymore. We're doing this new thing, and we're moving away from the Skywalker saga, even though they've already kind of set up for something with Lando and that random girl they introduced in this film to have something. Probably a Disney Plus series.
That was weird.
Yeah, it was. But yeah, I think, in all honesty, I think that this film is going to underperform in some ways. Maybe not the ways that we think or expect, but it's gonna underperform in some way. It's already underperforming in many ways, and I think that's going to be enough for them to say, let's hold off on movies for the next 4 or 5 years.
Yep. And we're also going through a trend cycle shift.
Yeah.
Okay. Trends change. It's weird. I can't explain it. I just know that trends change usually when decades change. It's within two years of a decade change, something shifts. So in 10 years, old action movies might make a comeback, or movie stars or movies might not be around at all, and everybody's just watching TV series on streaming services. One of those things going to happen, and genre will not be the thing to go to anymore. The nerds will have had their run. It was a damn good one. I mean, it's never going to go away it'll always be around, but it just won't be the top thing in Hollywood.
Well, in 2021, Bob Iger's gone. He's already said he's stepping down in 2021, and
he'll extend. He's extended it. He's extended his contract about 12 times now. I took a picture of Marlon Sebo's super chat. That shit was funny. He said, Jeremy has turned into a Gary Stu this week. He has done nothing but win this week, and with minimal effort, and everybody loves him. Also, Tenet.
Scripter here. You guys don't even know.
So I had to post that to Twitter. That shit was funny as hell.
That's awesome. It's been a good week, hasn't it, Jeremy? It's been a good.
It has.
Yeah. It has. Geeky Candy's here. Hi, Geeky. How's it going? $5 for $5. She says Star Wars. Yeah, over it. Ready for some Expanse coverage tomorrow. Oi Baltalaudas. 3 PS. Awesome panel tonight. R.I.P. The Rise of Skywalker, a new one. And RIP. I'm sorry, I thought it was R.I.P. Please RIP The Rise of Skywalker, a new one. I can read, and we have been, and I have been for the last 24 hours straight, practically.
We have 3,700 watching, but only 800 likes. Can we smash the melee button? Can we smash the melee button?
Yeah.
Please share the video. Every time you like a video, another tear comes from Ryan Johnson's soy boy eyes. So make that happen. So
that guy, I just don't like that guy. I just don't. TBAI. And Ryan Johnson. No, I know, right? For $20, go to Rotten Tomatoes, go to The Rise of Skywalker, click on more info below the score percentage, and choose all audience under audience score, which Jeremy was talking about. For an additional rating value, 34,000 voted, and it's at 75%. Seems this is overlooked by everyone, and yeah, it probably is. But I just think more normies are going to like this film. And if you go to Terminator Dark Fate, that had a great audience score. And it flopped.
It is ticking down, though, but I don't see it as being completely rotten. I think it's probably going to go well with the audience, and as we've already seen, the Access Media hates it.
And to explain Terminator Dark Fate, the Terminator fans that were left that would have been mostly offended by that film did not go see it. So that's why the audience score was high. The most
Star Wars fans, is on that track.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I did leave a review on it, but they don't like to count it since I don't have a stub. So I guess that doesn't count.
That's not.
It'll just be in the other category, so you have to actually click on it.
No, I know, but
the whole raw thing.
It's not going to get seen.
You're used to not counting because you're a woman who doesn't agree with the narrative. Therefore, you don't count, Mary. Yeah. Don't you know how this works?
Right. Fuck my life.
I know it.
And thank you TBAI for the $20 super chat. I greatly appreciate it.
And I want to give a shout out to the male feminists out there. I get it, guys. I get it. You've been pretending that you respect women all these years. You can't get any pussy. At some point, you're just gonna lose your mind because you can't get laid. I understand.
Busting your ass.
That's why they keep lashing out at anger. It's because we keep patting them on the head and telling them to go make us a sandwich.
I've been busting my ass as a male feminist for 5 damn years, and I still ain't got no pussy. poor male feminist out there. Poor male feminist. So anyway, shout out to all of you soy boys out there, respecting women on a daily basis on Twitter.
Except for when you're calling us cunts.
Exactly.
Yep.
Want me to share that, Odin?
Yeah, so I was looking up Rise of Skywalker, and I just had to show this because the first thing that pops up is Overlord Doomcock, Geeks and Gamers, Josiah Rises, and then at the very bottom is the Rise of Skywalker.
On IMDb. That's
On
IMDb.
IMDb.
How are we ending up on IMDb now? Because I got an IMDb page too. How is that? Who is somebody?
I don't know. I guess
that,
a fan. I guess someone's a fan.
You
and
got an
they're
insider.
posting pages.
The Geeks and Gamers IMDb. Oh my God, people are hating it so bad. It's so funny. I didn't even know we had one.
I didn't know.
They were like right now.
That's
let's
awesome.
see, where's it at? Oh shit, it's higher than it used to be.
Oh, you have a page too.
Yeah, it used to be. Let me show you guys. Right here. Boom. Look at there. We are. If Gary will give me a screen. Look at there. We were at like a 2.8. So now it's up to 5.5. Some of the reviews. Let me see. I don't know how you do this. So, so it's virtually tied between 10s and 1s. And how do you read these? I've never went in here to see what people are actually saying. Jeremy has time for EFHAP, but not time for the High Council. I want to see bad, terrible, awful, way worse than EFAP, 10 out of 10. Not gay, 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
They're the best. All right, a race to the bottom. The site caters to an angry mob that is willing to watch ads that pay for more videos to feed the perpetual outrage. If you're mad about Star Wars, you'll love it. But then there's insight. There is nothing insightful about the channel. It's basically a house for people who never grew up to complain about entertainment or what?
At least they were inclusive and said people, right?
Yeah, how people manage to watch this garbage without suffering rusty forks into their eyeballs and bleach into their ears is beyond me. Now that's a review, baby.
Oh, that's beautiful. That is beautiful.
Absolute swaddle and butt hurt. This guy is the rallying
waffle.
No, this guy is the rallying point for all bedwetting crybabies who didn't get enough attention as a kid and throws their toys out with the pram when Star Wars, in particular, a run on. Good God, can you give me any kind of like abbreviations or anything like any kind of commas?
Punctuation.
Punctuation. You didn't even finish high school. Just do it.
Here we go. Most annoying person ever. Literally a man baby hates on thing that people like for a living. Surely he has better things to do with his time. Horrible channel, mountains out of molehills, the Nazi of YouTube.
The Nazi of YouTube.
Do you think you can get away with running around and going, hi?
That's fucking hilarious.
I love it so much. The fact that we even have an eye is crazy. So,
I don't know who started that, but I came across it. I have one, and then Nerdrotic has one, and I'm at 7.9 though.
Right. Well, so when I was on EFAP, is when Mahler brought the attention that they have one, and their reviews were terrible. It wasn't as bad as Geeks and Gamers, and then obviously the EFAP audience went over there. We're at 5.5. We were at like 2.8, I think, when I became aware of it. So
that's hilarious. That is hilarious.
Worst person ever, or most annoying person ever.
The Nazi of YouTube.
The Nazi of YouTube. Yeah, Doomcock has a 7.2.
I like how Doomcock is a star at Nerdrotic, by the way, on the IMDb. It's cool. That's cool. Yeah. That's my boy. I'm so proud of him. He has been killing it. Listen, both you and I knew that. We knew this guy is it took people a while to come around, and I think YouTube was suppressing him a little bit, and it had a lot to do with, I think, his name, to be honest with you. Like our poor friend Anti-Trekker out there. I like Anti-Trekker. Sometimes his opinions are not ones I agree with, but I love the guy. Okay. But his poop avatar, man, I don't think that helps him. Even though they have a poop emoji, I know. I just don't think it makes him friendly to advertisers, and I've told them that many times. Illuminati for $9.29 says 929. Watch The Expanse instead. Yes, people watch The Expanse. It's already forgotten though. I'm a little miffed at the production people at The Expanse, who are very good to their fans. Okay, they're great. It's a great fan base. These are true creatives. They know how to write television. They know how to create characters. The actors are brilliant. Everything's brilliant about the show. There's just two things wrong with it. That horrible Kevin Smith recap that's on Amazon. I think that actually hurt. I think that drove people away from the show, and they should have released it weekly because people are still talking about fracking Baby Yoda, and they would be talking about Amos, but now they're not. Because it's come and gone, and we're on to The Witcher, and the Rise of Skywalker sucked all the oxygen out of the nerd air, arena right now, and hopefully that will. Yeah, I don't know. What kind of staying power do you think the Fall of Skywalker has? I think it's the one thing. The Last Jedi it was offensively bad, and I think that's what stuck in people's head for a long time. I think this is just forgettable. I think it was such a mess. It was forgettable.
Yeah. And that's why the week 2 drop off is going to be fascinating to watch, because Last Jedi was, I think, in the high 60s from week 1 to week 2. If this one matches that and it's tracking less, that means that the film will, in all likelihood, make less than $1 billion. But we'll have to wait and see on that.
It should be interesting for sure.
Yeah.
I think it makes $1 billion. It ain't making $2 billion.
I've been saying 1.1 billion, and it's looking like it's going to hit it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it'll pass Last Jedi, which will be bucking the trend for Star Wars, because Revenge of the Sith did better than Attack of the Clones, and of course Return of the Jedi did better than Empire. And I can't explain. I was there. I can't explain why Empire didn't do better. I think a lot of I was young, so I wasn't paying that. I thought it was the greatest thing since sliced bread, but I think a lot of people were turned off by the cliffhanger back in the 80s, actually in 1980. And or was it 81? It was 80.
It was 81.
It was 80.
Was it? Yeah, okay.
It was 80, yeah, because it came out in 77. And yeah, people were pissed about that. And it was shocking, and that's not something they did in film ever. So I think that might have had something to do with it. Nikita Mukin, thank you. Oh, you changed your name for me since the last live stream. That's good, because I can't read Russian. So thank you, Nikita. Are you one of those Russian voters who's trying to downvote The Last Jedi to help further discourse in American society? I read that entire paper, everybody. I don't know if you've read it or not. That from Morton Bay, the Russian bots paper that was written over a year ago. That
actually, yes, I know what you're talking about now. Yeah.
I saw it. I haven't read it though.
That was definitely funded by a grant from, well, I can't say definitely. I think it was funded by a grant from Disney. It almost looks like they wrote it for him. And remember, the original source for that was Lucasfilm. So
it was debunked very quickly.
Really? That's interesting.
Yes, it was thoroughly debunked. And all you have to do is read it, because the whole thing, if you guys don't know, it was based on 7 months of tweets at Ryan Johnson. It was based on 1,273 tweets. Of the 1,273 tweets, only 956 were legit. And then after you did all the math, the actual number of Russian bots they think were in there, was under 1 in 10. So 16 tweets. So we got 1,600 Access Media articles off of 16 tweets.
Yeah, because it proved that there were some bots. And if you have some bots proven, then you can run with that and say whatever you want.
Yep.
That kind of reminds me of the alternative influencer network study that this chick did. Basically talking about like Dave Rubin and
the big network and all the spider webs.
Yeah.
Well, that's why we're getting so much woke crap in our entertainment, because it's the companies selling what the Access Media wants to hear, and then they get a bunch of free advertising. That's why Damon Lindelof created The Watchmen that he did, because he knew the critics would love it. Access Media would just run article after article, and they would get advertising they could not buy. And that's why it's happening. It's not like anybody cares about this cause, and you guys all know that, but there might be somebody new here. You always got to assume that. And that's what keeps perpetuating the divisiveness. That's why these companies decided to take a side, because I still get asked to this day, why did they do this? Why did they make this decision? Why did this decide to go woke? That's why. It was money. It was money. So, and they were just wrong. They just read the tea leaves wrong.
Yep.
Geeky Candy for $5. When's the formal eulogy for Star Wars? I feel like we need that for finality so we can all move on the hell on. I don't know. I don't know if we're going to do one together. Maybe we should. I'm doing mine in my review video, Geeky. That's me turning the page on this narrative, on the Skywalker saga, because it's really over for me. But the thing was,
seriously, let me know. I'll get a black veil. We'll make a shindig out of it.
Yeah, that might be a good idea to do a wake for Star Wars.
Yeah,
that's not a bad idea.
Fascinated with what I'm doing on my phone and the fact that I'm quiet. It's all the chat's talking about right now.
He's busy, okay? He's
playing
man.
They won't know if I'm playing Candy Crush.
He's totally playing Candy Crush.
Oh man, so good, so good.
I'll sing a little Dust in the Wind. It'll be perfect. It'll be
Dust in the oh, that'd be great. You're my boy, Blue.
If you're my boy in the wind, I'll be like, "Hello, darkness, my old friend."
Yep.
Oh man.
KVG 1988 for 5 Canadian pesos. Is it too late for George Lucas to buy the rights back? Yes, it is. I mean,
yep.
It's too late.
Yeah.
There is no going back from this. There's no one doing this. It's done. So, and believe me, Disney's solution will be to remake the original trilogy, which is going to happen. Proper live,
man. I think they are.
I know they are. I just because what's going to happen is, like I said, this is all going to play out. They're going to get desperate, and they might do something different with it. Like make a TV series on Disney Plus and make it kind of like the radio show was, and maybe adapt the books, except it'll be Lisa Skywalker and Prince Leia. So Popper Lives 34 links for 99 cents, and he just gives me a little cool emoji. You're cool. You're cool. Pinion 2 Canadian pesos. Jeremy a chimp repaired Kylo. Oh yeah, Jeremy a chimp repaired Kylo Ren's helmet. You missed it. I didn't miss it. I saw the monkey repairing Kylo Ren's helmet, and I'm like, why is there a monkey?
Like, my God, it's a monkey with rabbit ears. What the hell?
It's so aggravating. Don't bring.
It's called character design. Okay.
Yeah, don't bring the damn helmet situation up. I'm tired of fussing about that shit. I'm so tired of it.
I will say the one dude, the one character, the new character that I kind of liked was the one that was doing the work on 3PO.
Oh, who was
that? Was it
Babu
Frick? Was his name?
Julio? Babu Frick. Why did I say Julio? That was the other guy.
Big hands, and he was tiny.
Oh, I remember that.
That got to me. That's like if I could give a positive, that'd be a positive.
That guy,
like that dude. Yeah, that dude.
I got one positive. That one flashback scene of Luke and Leia, anything, and they just kind of fought a little bit. I thought that was fine. I'd watch that movie.
That CGI.
I hated it.
Yeah, that
CGI. The CGI is crap. I'm not saying that. I'd say I'd rather watch that movie than any of these 3 movies.
As somebody said in my chat last night, another half-trained Jedi kicked Luke to the ground.
I know. I saw that. I rolled my eyes.
True.
I saw that.
Thank you though, Pinion. There's this is a lot. I think a lot of Star Wars fans just experienced what it was like to watch Star Trek Discovery, because this was structured like an episode of Star Trek Discovery. Let's put 17 ideas into a 1-hour episode and make Michael Burnham awesome. Boom. Guest 5 for $4.99. The Force Awakens was the cancer that Disney spread. The Last Jedi was the death of the franchise. From what I've heard, The Rise of Skywalker sodomized a dead corpse. Yeah, I think that's really appropriate.
That's pretty accurate.
Yeah, I'm where Mary's at. Like anytime I think of something possibly positive in the film, it ends up just pissing me off.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, it just gets undone by something else. I mean, there's so much. I want to say ill will. There's just so much stuff in this movie that just undoes anything that was actually good in the movie.
Yeah, well, and look, if you think about it, like, how many fans would have loved to have seen a Master Skywalker in Leia, right? Like, would have loved to have seen her herself had trainee, become a full-fledged Jedi Master, then carry on the tradition by being and by having a Padawan. We all would have loved that in theory, but they couldn't execute it properly because, you know, rest in peace, Carrie Fisher. But we would have loved that in theory, but they never took the time to do this. They never cared about this in order to do it justice. And so when it's presented to you on screen, you think back to what could have been, what should have been, and you become angry and frustrated because why didn't you care enough to do this properly? Why didn't you you spent $4 billion fracking dollars on it. Why couldn't you love this enough, or at least respect it enough to get people who did love it to write it to do this? Fuck this movie fucking in the left ear.
Hell yeah.
What's wrong with the right ear?
Yeah.
Matt, well,
both.
You got to work on the left ear first, you know, and that's good. Maticus Finch for 1820. Maticus Finch 1820 for $10 says something very nice about the Fandom Menace. Hail, guys and gals. Saw The Rise of Skywalker last night, thanks to the high seas. It was total trash. Fandom Menace YouTube has been straight fire today. I've watched all your reviews. Keep up the great work, everyone. Thank you, Maticus Finch. We appreciate your support. You hear that? People are watching. I like that. I cannot wait to catch up on the YouTube. It's going to be spectacular.
There's so much of it.
Yeah. There is. I'm pissed that I'm wasting my time. I'm sorry I'm not wasting my time talking to you, but I had to watch that film, and it's keeping me from talking to you guys, watching better things that I could recommend to you.
Cats. It's keeping him from Cats, everybody. Let us talk about the elephant in the room, and that is that Cats is the greatest film of 2019. Why are we talking about that?
No, I want to see that nightmare now more than ever because it had
furry's paradise. It is a furry's paradise.
Totally. And I hate furries. So Clownfish TV did a video on the reviews, and one reviewer hated it so much he wrote a poem. He wrote a bad review poem, which I just thought was great. And now I have to see this. So I know Mrs. Nerdrotic is out Christmas shopping right now listening. That's our date night film, babe. So thank you, Maticus Finch.
So Cafe Neutrino sent this to me, and I want to get your thoughts on it as well. How can JJ still have work in Hollywood? My response to that is he must have a lot of dirt on people.
Yeah.
He's amassed power. If you've paid, I've been talking about Jar Jar for years on this channel, like before I had anybody watching. I've had it in for this guy, and it's because I just simply see through what he's doing. So the Jar Jar Abrams taking over Hollywood conspiracy, it becomes more convincing every day. If you look at all the major genre he is involved, he has people involved. He's either directly involved. He has control still over Star Trek right now. And now that he's losing that, but he still technically has control over it. He
is the Senate.
He is. He's is in Star Wars. The two people running the Lord of the Rings TV show were the writer and director for the writers for what was going to be Star Trek 4. So he's got people there. He's got people in Westworld. He has now hired on to Warner Brothers. He's got people in Star Trek Discovery. And now the CEO of Warner Brothers, or one of the CEOs, was kicked out, and Jar Jar Abrams would not sign with Warner Brothers unless they got rid of that CEO. And that was because his wife demanded that. His wife is one of the co-founders of the Time's Up thing in Hollywood. It derailed Westworld season 2. The best video on that is by Critical Drinker, who I'm going to have on this show very soon, by the way. I love that guy.
I do too.
And he did a great video just explaining everything that, he does. And he gets it. So what happened to Westworld season 2 was a great season of, or great television show getting derailed by current year politics. And it really explains everything that's going on now. So that is the Jar Jar Abrams conspiracy. He has been able to amass talent he's been able to amass, get his coffers filled and get a lot of power based on very little talent. but knowing the right people, being anointed by Steven Spielberg, and putting and having his loyal little soldiers running around. Oh yeah, and Damon Lindelof at with Watchmen, and Matt Reeves, the director of The Batman, is a Jar Jar Abrams protege. So yes, yeah.
Oh,
so
no.
Yep. So he's everywhere, and it's all in genre. You don't see him making like little indie films or dramas or anything like that.
What's the connection to Matt Reeves and JJ?
Matt Reeves directed Cloverfield.
Okay.
So yeah,
I really loved his Apes movies.
He didn't do the first one, right? He did
he did the second and third. The third one. Yeah.
Yeah, they're competent. They're good movies. And I actually like Cloverfield's a halfway decent movie. I think he might be the best of them, but he's still connected. Yeah. So anything with bad robot, with that little bad robot logo, I question it now. And this is all stems from Star Trek, and honestly, Into Darkness and the Rise of Skywalker have a lot in common. They really do. So yeah, geeky candy for $5. If only the rebels had a Marco Inaro to toss space rocks at Palps, would be more believable. Yes, it would. But they don't have a Marco Inaro because that would require character development, which they don't have time for. That's so 20th century.
Hero's journey, character development. That's so 20th century. It was brought to you by the patriarchy. We got to undo it.
Picard 714. That's LA area code. Used to be a San Diego area code back in the day. Welcome to the proto molecule level. Yes, and that's the next thing Jar Jar Abrams' proteges will be screwing up is Star Trek: The Next Generation by bringing back Picard under the secret hideout banner, which is connected to Bad Reboot because Alex Kurtzman is one of his boys. And co-wrote Into Darkness. Alex Kurtzman
it's like a mafia.
It is.
It really is, man.
This is a freaking mafia. What the hell?
It is. And
I would say monopoly, but
well, these are the guys. The reason they're projecting so much identity politics in their stuff is to keep jobs, because these are a bunch of white guys. So just saying. Nikki D for $5. Do you guys think the MCU will follow the same woke route as Star Wars? And if so, will it result in diminished returns? Yes, if it goes that route.
Yes and yes.
What do you guys think?
It already has to some extent with films like Captain Marvel, and with other projected films that they have planned out ahead. And I honestly think that the next films are going to make less, only because I think people are done. I think that we've gotten 22 films in the last 10 years. That's a lot. And I think that there's just going to be some people that are going to say, all right, you know what? I'm done. I've had my fill. Endgame was the end for me. And other people that are going to keep on watching it. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see the box office for, I think the next official one is Black Widow in May. So it'll be interesting to see how that one does.
Yes, it will, because I've already talked about this. The MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, when it began back with Iron Man, was not a juggernaut. It was something that needed to be treated with care, with proper character development, with the proper respect that it deserved, because they wanted to build it up, because they will never start something woke from the ground. They don't, because they know that it won't do anything. They know they can't get support from these fucking losers that get on Twitter and hashtag shit all day and act like they give a fuck about this stuff. They know those people aren't going to support them. So they want to create things. They want to push that shit into things that already have a really good pre-existing foundation. With Star Wars, they looked at it and they thought, oh, well, Star Wars is a mega property. It can survive all of this bullshit. Now that's where the Marvel Cinematic Universe is at, where Marvel is at this juggernaut level. So now they can push this into it, and then they can go, oh, if you didn't support this, you're just intimidated by lesbians. Even though all you fuckers go to Pornhub, you're just intimidated by lesbians. Like, no, we're intimidated by bad storytelling and you pushing your politics into it. So yes, I do believe that the MCU is going to go the woke way, and it's going to be, at first it will be successful because the Marvel Cinematic Universe has a built built-in success, much like Star Wars, much like, you know, other things that have seen this. But once the things start falling apart, Bob Iger or Alan Horn or whoever's in charge of Disney is going to go, well, you know, it's just Marvel Cinematic Universe fatigue. That's all it is, guys. You know, we had a good run, but people are just tired of it. No, they're tired of your bullshit. Fuck you, Bob Iger.
Okay, because 11 years in, we're totally exhausted.
Yeah. I don't know. I think there probably is going to be diminishing returns at this point, because you had the climax of the last 11 years, and now we're kind of, I wouldn't say getting the leftovers. But I think there's a lot of stuff that's going to be coming out that it may register with normies. I don't know, but I think you're going to start seeing the diminishing returns now. Well, maybe after Black Widow.
I was going to say after Black Widow, perhaps, because there's just so much hype around. Like it genuinely looks like a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to it. A lot of people invested in seeing something like. Interestingly enough, it's a female-led movie. Go figure. All those sexists and misogynists are running around, give their money to female-led movies.
I think if anything that hurts it it's the fact that's coming after Endgame with her character already being dead.
I don't think it will. It's not going to be $1 billion Marvel movie. Not even close. I think it's going to have the same effect as Solo. Nobody wants to see somebody who's dead.
Because they should have released this before Avengers.
Right, we know.
I agree.
Yeah, this should have been in phase 1. This should have been phase 1 or phase 2.
Well, I was in phase 2 or whatever. Like, because I think it would have done well right around the release of Winter Soldier. Right, I think that would have been a great time to release it. But like, even with all of these missteps with it, it's still going to do well because people still care about this character, even though they've screwed it up on this front. So interestingly, and I do think it'll diminish after that. But you know, that's because we care about this character.
Well, yeah, I mean, as a person who is very much a fan of Scarlett Johansson's acting, the character of Black Widow, and her ass, I am not as excited.
I knew you were
triple threat.
I just did it to make Odin just. Anyway, as a person that is very proud to be a fan of her ass, of her acting ability, and the character of Black Widow.
So you say she has good assets.
She has very good assets. You know, so I am not as excited for this movie as I should be, outside of that ass shot in the trailer, but that's not the point. But because it does feel like you're not as invested in the character anymore because you already know how it ends. And that was a great ending, by the way. That was a very emotional moment. That was incredibly emotional. It's probably one of the most emotional I've ever gotten in any superhero movie. But it just doesn't have the same stakes. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm at with it.
No,
I know, Odin. Odin, you're more of a Captain America's ass kind of guy. I know.
That's America's ass.
It is America's ass.
That's America's ass.
He went off camera on me.
He did. I
just want you to look at that, Jeremy, and I just want you to think.
Just look at it.
Look, everybody, it's Space
Jesus. Look at it.
Just look at it.
That's awesome.
Well, I will. You know what? You want to make you a profile picture?
Okay,
all right, I got one.
No, hold on.
One.
Hold it.
I got one.
Oh boy.
All right, let me see here.
Oh no.
It's gonna be Captain America's ass.
In my dreams.
I'm looking for it. Man, there's a lot of good images to choose from here.
Oh Lord, I see where this is going.
Oh my goodness. All right, hang on a minute. Jeez, really? That's amazing.
Little Tim Curry.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Classic.
Nice.
Classic.
Yeah.
I love that movie. I know people hate it. I love it.
I love that movie too.
Tangerine Dream soundtrack. It screams 80s. It's great.
It looks spectacular. Like it's shot so well.
Yeah.
Have you seen the director's cut with the original score?
No.
I
don't think I'd want to.
It is so different.
Yeah, the Lord. Tangerine Dream is the.
There we go. There we go. There you go. Scarlett Johansson. I'm a fan of Scarlett Johansson. So there we go.
Oh my God! Here we go. Here we go.
Hey, suddenly, D-Day Cobra's getting objectified all of a sudden. Interesting how that works. So,
North American Hamrammer for $2 should have opened with a glorious funeral for Leia. Didn't I think we suggested that earlier? We did. Yes. There we go.
Objectify that, motherfuckers.
Fun. Oh man! All right, this is the part where the show kind of goes off the rails. This is where we find out. This is where we find out who's really here to watch us and who's here because the algorithm showed up as recommended. Because then people are like, "What the fuck are these motherfuckers doing?"
Starlancer for 75 UYUs. I have no idea what those are, but thank you for your generous donation. I'm very disappointed that Palpatine didn't shout unlimited power while shooting lightning at the fleet. I went with my dad and she legit fell asleep.
It's over 9,000.
Over 9,000.
There's Ryan's in the chat. He's like, "What the fuck?"
He probably looked away for a second, comes back, and he sees his face on the screen.
Like, what the fuck's happening right now?
Oh, I can do a little Photoshop magic and mold. I mean, it's better that way, to be honest with you. But I can mold his face and make him look like Holdo.
Yes.
One of my gifts. Do it. Starlancer, thank you very much for the super chat. Gordy Skymop for $4.99. The House of Palpatine survives. Hashtag Palpatine wins. Yes.
Rise of Palpatine. That's what it really should be called.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, oh my God. So that final battle, the final boss battle was stupid. Like we talked about earlier, he died from a ricochet. It was a 2-minute battle. And okay. Can anybody explain the 50,000 hooded people who were there watching everything and doing their soccer Sith chants?
I'm glad you brought that up because I completely forgotten about it. It was a point I wanted to talk about as well. Is that if all the Sith are dead, who the fuck are those people?
Yeah, who the fuck are these people?
Yeah.
Who's piloting those?
Are they just
Star
Sith
Destroyers?
fanboys?
Where are they from?
Here's the better question. Oh, we have questions now. What? So whose child was Palpatine's? Was it the mother or the father?
Yeah, they said that. They said the guy in the movie.
Yeah, it was the
dude.
Dad.
Yeah,
it was Ray's dad.
So he had a consensual relationship with someone.
Man.
Yeah.
Well, he seemed like the kind of guy that has that.
Even in the EU, he had a son.
Wrap your mind around this. Palpatine boned someone.
Do it.
Okay.
Do it.
Palpatine.
I need to remind everybody.
Unlimited power.
Unlimited power. Okay, the EU stuff keeps getting popped up, and I appreciate you doing that, Comix, and I know Ryan does it. Freaking Jar Jar Abrams didn't know shit about the EU. He brought in a Palpatine son without having any clue or caring.
I think you're right. I think you're
what
right.
an EU has to say about that.
Yeah,
he pulled it out of his ass. I don't remember that being said in the film. When did they say that it was the son?
I don't remember that
It was
either.
briefly mentioned.
Did it? Because I didn't hear that.
Because I did not hear it.
I didn't even. I have to look back and I was paying attention because I was like, how are they going to explain it? And I don't remember hearing it, but I could be.
I don't remember hearing it either. And yeah, who bedded down with Palpatine, man? Whew. That's why I
think too. Which version of Palpatine?
You're right.
Was it young, good-looking Palpatine? You know, back in his good old Senate days.
I imagine it was probably when he was
wrinkly one. Yeah,
married.
I've always assumed that Palpatine doesn't play for that team, but that's me.
Like shit.
Oh yeah, he is very flamboyant.
Oh.
Yeah. Did you see him in there? You know, having sex, making a little Palpatine unlimited power.
I don't want to think about that.
Would you like to see my lightsaber?
Ball sack looking.
Yes.
I have a flesh-colored lightsaber.
No, yeah. Don't look at me. Don't look at me. Don't look at me.
I have powers that some consider unnatural.
So he looks at his partner. Yeah, he looks at his partner and goes, "Let's do it. Do it." Then he brings out a flesh-colored lightsaber. Bunula TV for $5. Subscribe to Bunula TV. So that's what Bunula TV wants you to subscribe there. I can't go to the link from inside here. I don't know why. It won't let me do it though. I got to check them out.
Can I not be an asshole for a minute and just thank everybody for being here? 3,500 people. 3,500 people. Gary had almost 7,500 watching last night when he was live talking about the movie. Mary, set a record for her channel. She had about 700 people on her live stream.
That's awesome.
We had 5,700 people watching Geeks and Gamers last night. I do want to thank everybody. If you're new to our community and everything like that, we're happy you're here. We have a lot of fun. I'm sarcastic. I'm an asshole. Everybody else here is genuinely nice. So anyway, just, welcome to, our little corner of the internet. And if you enjoy it, please subscribe to all these channels. So it's nice to have you here.
Oh, and Christy says that Kylo said it to Ray. So that's the conversation that her dad was mentioned.
Okay.
I am looking at Bunula TV right now. This is interesting stuff.
What is it?
Bunula TV, the AIDS in Our Stars, and it's like dolls and stuff. Hang on, let me pull up one of these.
So what?
Go on.
Oh man, this is okay. Yeah, this is oh no, Jesus, yeah, dude. Bunula TV, I thank you for the super chat. There's no way I can. Of course, now everybody's going to go there. You do it at your own risk. There's dolls sticking their hands in toilets and stuff.
I need to know what this is now.
Yeah, it's Bunula, so it's BUNNULA TV. Go at your own risk. Tamani, I was going to say I'll subscribe over there, and I went, thank you for the super chat, though. I appreciate it. Tamani 3905 for $5. Just showing my support. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Tamani 3905. I greatly appreciate it. Modalicious is here. Modalicious might like that channel for $2. I'm just kidding, Modalicious. Ray stole everything of Luke's, including his theme. His theme. That is good. That is almost a video title right there, Modalicious. I might steal that. Cracklin for $4.99. Sad that they removed the EU in favor of something much worse. I'd rather watch a trilogy about Kyle Katarn or Mara Jade than the turd sandwich we got. Yes, I would too. I would too. Matt Corey for $5. If you guys want to see epic, if you want to see an epic articulate takedown and dismantling of this travesty, check out Shadiversity's channel. It's glorious, and it's Shaw Diversity. Shaw SHA Diversity.
Shadiversary.
Is it Shadiversary? Like shatter,
Shadiversary.
like Shadiversary.
It's like
got it. Okay.
Chad, like Chad.
Shadiversary. Got it.
I think right. Or is it Shadiversary?
It's SH, not CH.
Yeah, Shadiversary.
Like shatter. Okay, I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
Josh Nelson for $5. I hope Star Wars Theory changes his mind. He gave it 2 thumbs up, which I found odd, being he loves Anakin's story, which got abandoned. You remember Jeremy just said it when the show went south, when it goes south like it always does. He goes, "We're going to find out who the real viewers are and who was here for the algorithm." At this point, with the rise of Skywalker, we're going to find out who the real, like, George Lucas Star Wars fans are, and who are just fans of the words Star Wars and want to continue. You got to look at it from Star Wars Theory's point of view. It's all a matter of point of view. His channel is called Star Wars Theory. So I don't think he can call himself Expanse Theory or Batman Theory.
Yeah.
It's Star Wars Theory, and Star Wars is done. So it's had its run. It will continue. He'll be talking about Mandalorian episodes, which are 30-minute episodes of a guy who doesn't show his face. It's very good, especially the last episode.
Oh, that last episode was so good.
It was very good.
But it's not.
That was a good episode, yeah.
It's just a side quest. It's a very good side quest.
Yep. I mean, at this point, what I'm saying, and here, this has been my argument about The Mandalorian. I believe, and if someone can to prove me wrong, I'm 100% willing to listen. I'm not saying I know this. This is just a theory, but I believe that The Mandalorian was meant to be released all as one, just a binge-worthy show, just like, Stranger Things and any other Netflix series. And I believe that they probably made a business decision to split it all up. So because there's all these competitors, Amazon and Apple and all these other streaming platforms, plus Disney, perfect, right in line with Disney and their bullshit. They want to run The Mandalorian into Rise of Skywalker so they can keep Star Wars relevant, keep people talking every week. And if that's what they did, then I think it was absolutely a brilliant business move. But I believe the show probably was meant to be all just 8 episodes of binge-worthy content. And if you watch it
when it's done.
Well, I understand that. But what I'm saying is if you watch it all together, if you do it in 1 or 2 sittings, I think that the show is going to feel much different than it does from a week-to-week perspective. So that's the way I'm thinking this show is going to feel a lot different if you watch it from the beginning to the end. Essentially, what's it going to be? 6 hours, 5 hours of content, basically? Yep. It's going to feel significantly different. Now, what I loved about episode 7 is the fact that we established the relationships with a lot of these characters previously within the season. Not a big, strong connection with them, but, relatively, we were connected to them. So when we revisit some of these characters, oh, man, okay. All right, I'm a little more connected to that, and you feel a little more in tune with what's going on. So let's see how episode 8 finishes. And then I'm going to rewatch this entire thing in one sitting, and I'm going to see how it feels from one perspective. So, but if anybody knows that if it was planned from the beginning, I would like to know that information. For me, it just feels like this was meant to be all binged in one sitting, but we'll see.
Yeah. And I wonder if at one point you could have maybe Ivan do like a supercut. That could be interesting to see.
It's a repurposed Boba Fett film. That's what I think it is. And they just added those filler episodes. And the fact that there was filler episodes will still feel like filler episodes when you're being binged. Yeah. That doesn't change that.
At this point, I've been saying this for a while. It's episodes 1, 3, 7, and 8 are actually from the movie.
Yeah. Yeah. I
and then the other ones are just complete filler.
Yeah. But it was smart. Disney, what they did is they ran the numbers and they saw that like, hell, okay, I do a live stream review. I get 50,000 views per review. It's just me. It's like super low tier. I just live stream my reaction of the thing. And I'm just one YouTuber, Charlie over at Emergency Awesome, does a weekly episode, and that gets like 1 million views. And there's other YouTubers doing it. Yeah, Disney knows what's up. Amazon Prime, and yeah, it's much better. Like Witcher's they were stupid to drop that all at once. It's just dumb. A big expensive fantasy series that you got world building and multiple characters. And by the way, what Jeremy said, Quill. I cared more about Quill than any character in any of the new Disney trilogy. The only reason I cared about Luke. I
completely agree. Yeah.
I don't even like Jake Skywalker 100%. That much. As a matter of fact, I don't like him at all. I like Mark Hamill, but I don't like what they presented in The Last Jedi. But yeah, Quill is a great character, and it's just a freaking Ugnaught, and all they had to do was keep it simple, stupid, which is saying in recovery. Keep it simple. But what Jeremy said earlier, they had a bunch of goodwill built up. It's like, oh, let's put some identity politics. If we alienate a couple of people, it's Star Wars. It'll be fine. Yeah. It'll be fine.
Yep.
Except it wasn't. Till it wasn't.
Quill's awesome.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm going to say.
I get 9 out of 10 episode. That was such a good episode. Like that really felt like a full-fledged episode of television. Character development, good acting for the most part, and yeah.
So what's for the most part? Who did you have a problem with?
Carl Weathers. His acting is not. He's better than that.
You shut your fucking mouth about Chubbs, okay? Chubbs is going to be a Force ghost at some point in a Star Wars movie. They already have Carl Weathers on contract. Damn it. Kathleen Kennedy, you want to bring Jeremy back into the fold? You give me Chubbs and that fucking alligator, as a Force ghost in the Blu-ray release of The Rise of Skywalker, and I'll forgive everything. You got Carl fucking
Special
Weathers
edition.
on contract. Make it happen.
Hey,
I want Chubb's Force Ghost with that fucking alligator and his plastic hand glued back together. Do it, and I'll forgive everything.
Too. Bring back Bob Barker.
If Finn can be force sensitive, then why can't that character? I mean, anyone can be now.
Let Chubbs be force sensitive too.
Exactly.
And he better sing. He better be at the piano and just singing. And I want that midget. I want that midget on the fucking tricycle or whatever.
That chick shows up Ray with the beer.
Shut up,
I
Happy.
fucking love that movie. I love that movie. Oh
I got
God.
my hand back. See? We've only just begun to live.
I love that
watching
movie.
Happy Gilmore. I'm watching Happy Gilmore.
Freaking,
Okay,
oh my
that's with
God.
Happy Gilmore. Okay.
Yep. Oh no, that's me and my pops love that movie because that's we used to golf
Just
together. Jeremy, do you golf?
I try. I do try.
Well,
I love playing golf.
Nobody really golfs.
I know.
Okay, we all suck.
I'm not good, but I absolutely love golfing. Golfing and fishing, which is two things that I haven't done since I started a fucking YouTube channel. Entertainment hacker, you're gonna hold me accountable. I know,
Dude.
no.
But
That's seriously like
we're
it's
golfing
bad.
next time. I
Done.
see you. We're golfing,
dude. I'm heading to Southern California right now. Says,
all right.
I love golfing. I love it. So
there's a great, cheap, brilliant course in Bonsall I can take you to. It's near my mom's house. There's a little pitch and putt in Pacific Beach, which is brilliant. There's tons of. If we want to go out to Palm Springs, there's some great golfing out there, dude.
Okay.
Which is not far from LA.
There's Kennel. I'll golf. I'll beat your asses. So Kennel.
You probably will, but you can come. Yeah. Well, he's in San Diego. Of course, he knows how to golf.
I hate golf. I hate it
I
so
love
much.
golfing.
So
golfing is so
Fishing is awesome.
relaxing.
I
I'm
love
with
fishing.
you. It sucks.
I don't fish.
I always
don't like seafood.
I always appreciate that old joke by Robin Williams when he breaks down the history of golf. But the best part of all is when he goes and does the commentator. He says, "All right, he's getting ready to the hole now. Could everyone please be quiet? I'm trying to listen to the grass grow." And then he says, I want the Mexican soccer commentators to do golf just once.
Yes.
The ball is rolling. The ball is rolling. Oh!
Go.
Gary, do you remember not necessarily the news?
Yes.
Do you remember the episode where they were talking about how they're adding tackling to golf? That would be amazing.
Yes, that would be funny. Yes. Oh my God, I haven't thought about that in a long ass time.
I love not necessarily the news. That was fantastic.
Okay. Ray stole everything. I'm trying to catch up here. Sad that they removed Cracklin. I think I read that one. Thank you for the $4.99. Matt Corey read that. It jumped on me like crazy. Okay, so Star Wars Theory. So I really had more. I saw that in the chat that I had more people watching me than Star Wars Theory. Really?
Yes, you did. Yeah.
That's surreal. Jadukan for $5. Hi, Gary. I think I'm better off for not having watched episode 9. Hashtag Doomcock was right. And I like how you focus. You capitalized the C in his name. So it's Doomcock was right. Doomcock was vindicated. There you go.
Putting the emphasis in the right place.
And that's right. Tamani 3905 $5. Either Lucas Disney film can't make a decent Star Wars movie, or they didn't even care to try and make a decent one. Either answer justifies our outrage. It does. Referring back to the Robert Meyer Burnett live stream that I saw earlier, the situation is they tried to make money before they wrote a story. Simple as that. And that's why Disney Star Wars can never be truly successful in the way they want it to be, because it's too big to succeed. There's too many cooks in the kitchen. And they're not creative cooks. They're bankers.
No, you also have the story group too, which is
wasn't
hired for storytelling.
Nope.
Right.
Yeah. Do you think the story group was just somebody else wrote a script and then the story group did a pass on it? And you need to add a woman there, put notes in basically. So diversity notes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I love how they're enough there and with it to say, oh yeah, we're just gonna make all of this stuff non-canon because it doesn't work with our vision. But when these scripts come by, they say, yep, stamp of approval. It all makes sense. It's like,
totally
wait a minute.
fine.
Isn't your job to make everything make sense? Like you said screw you to everyone in the EU when you made all that, most of it non-canon, and yet you're just letting this trash walk by your desk. Okay, gotcha. Makes sense.
No, it does. Oh my God, what's her name? Jeff Goldblum's ex-wife, who was in The Fly, and she had.
Oh yeah.
She was hired to
She has that program.
That program that makes sure your script is woke. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember. Oh God, I should have talked about that.
So maybe that's what the story group was, basically.
Yeah, basically just to make sure that there's a proper amount of diversity and representation. That's God. This is the
we
thing
stupidly
that
thought that they were planning stuff.
Yeah, this is the thing that frightens me about big data is these kind of very kind of big brother decisions that can come out of it. ML is scary as fuck at times. ML stands for machine learning, for those who don't know what it is.
I have no idea what it is.
Yeah. Machine learning.
Oh, the more you know.
There you go. Kind of like IG-11 in The Mandalorian. Okay. Gary, I'm willing to hold my nose and watch The Rise of Skywalker if we get real Luke back instead of Jake. Even if it's just for 5 minutes. Did our hero show up?
No,
I'll say they tried.
Ryan Johnson. The only reason he was in that movie for any measure of time was so that he could essentially give the middle finger to Ryan Johnson. That's it.
Yeah,
I think. Oh, go ahead, comment.
I was saying, like I said, this whole movie was spent trying to undo the bullshit that Ryan Johnson did.
Yeah,
that's what ruined it too. But
repeat the super chat question one more time.
Gary, I'm willing to hold my nose and watch The Rise of Skywalker if we get a real Luke back instead of Jake, even if it's just for 5 minutes. Did our hero show up? Thank you, Charles.
Okay, so there was an attempt, but it was it wasn't good enough for me. There was what we could have done right here. Look, JJ clearly didn't like what Ryan Johnson did. Okay. And maybe he's being politically savvy, which he's very good at being publicly, but it's clear on screen. Actions speak louder than words. He did not like The Last Jedi.
Absolutely.
Well, he wanted us to know he didn't like it.
Right. Now, we also know that Mark Hamill did not like The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
I think that, and this is becoming my huge problem with J.J. Abrams, because I do like a lot of the stuff he's produced, whether it's TV and some of the movies and things like that. But what I'm starting to see with J.J. Abrams is he is the definition of a beta male, where the man he does have power, but he doesn't use it. J.J. Abrams should have went to Mark Hamill in private and said, listen, you're not happy about what happened. I'm not happy about what happened. My hands are tied to an extent. But here's what we're going to do. You and I are going to sit down and we're going to write the most passionate Luke Skywalker speech that we've ever heard in our lives. And we're going to call George and we're going to hammer this out. I want to give you 2 straight minutes of being as passionate as you've ever been. You pull every emotion that you've ever felt and let's hammer this fucker home. But they didn't do it. You didn't do it. You could have. The attempt was there. It was a pathetic attempt, though. It was there, and I did smile at I did smile at the moment where the X-wing and all that. I did, the music playing and everything, but it just wasn't good enough. So that's where I'm at with it.
Daisy Ridley looks so stupid with that helmet on, not having the flight suit.
Yes, she does.
It's meant to be a throwback to The Force Awakens when she's alone
playing with the helmet. Yeah, I know. I recognized it, but I was just thinking she just looks so stupid.
Yeah, for me, all I got.
Just track it back.
Now she's Red 5. Great.
Yeah.
Give her more.
Right. Just track it back. Yeah. She has the Falcon and Luke's X-wing. There you go.
Yep.
She has both.
She's got it all. Director Joseph Kahn beautifully said what Luke means to Star Wars and to a lot of us OG fans, which is everything. So he said, Mark Hamill, I won't read the whole thing. It's in one of my videos, but he talks about how Rian Johnson did not listen to Mark Hamill. And this is a director, by the way. He directed Torque and Bodied. Mark Hamill spent 4 decades with Luke Skywalker, tweeted Khan. George Lucas created the character, but Hamill brought him to life. If anyone knows what Luke would and wouldn't do, it's him. And that's not, I'm going to interject, that's not always the case with actors, okay? But with this, in this particular case, Mark Hamill knew Luke probably better than George. Actors are not props. They are storytellers. He added, why are there 9 movies about Skywalkers? Well, there really isn't. Skywalker is a symbol for hope. Each episodic branch leads back to him, the beating heart of the story. If you don't love Luke, you don't love Star Wars. You just like spaceships.
Yes.
Yeah. And the other thing too, that the director sets the direction. It's really the actors that brings those characters to life.
If you have a competent director,
if you have a competent director,
we didn't, and for example, I don't know if I necessarily ask Patrick Stewart about Picard, because just what I've heard, and he loves the character and he embodies the character, but he also moved on when he was done with Star Trek. Patrick Stewart was an A-list actor for the most part, did many other things, like a great one-man show for A Christmas Carol, which I saw multiple times. Of course, he was Professor X. He wouldn't be my go-to guy for Captain Picard lore. But I would go to Mark Hamill for Luke Skywalker lore. Certainly would. I'm sure there's probably EU people who know more, but as far as the films are concerned, Mark Hamill embodies him and also was a fan of the character, thought about the character even when he was doing voice work and stuff. A lot of actors just do a job and move on. It wasn't the case for Mark Hamill.
Yeah, I mean, that dude that just made those comments, you said he directed Torque. Torque was just like total ripoff of Fast and Furious. Like, that's what it was trying to be. But
with motorcycles.
But with motorcycles instead. I remember when it came
motorcycles,
out.
right.
It was one of those like cringy, but just I loved it for the sake of how bad it was. But the fact that even that director gets it shows you just how lost Rian Johnson really is.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember mocking that movie, just calling it dork.
I saw it 3 times in theaters because that's just what I did.
I didn't see either of those movies, but what he said about Luke's Mark Hamill was spot on.
Yeah,
and Rian Johnson didn't care. That's the thing, is I think Rian Johnson's not dumb. He's just a dick. That's all, in my opinion.
Well, he doesn't give a shit. He doesn't respect canon. I think that's kind of the big thing. He wants to do things his way, and the past be damned, I guess.
No, yeah, he is typical douchey Hollywood hipster, Silver Lake, listens to Silver Sun pickups, dude, straight up. Geekosity for $5. If Finn is force sensitive, why didn't he get trained by Luke or Leia? 2 Jedi would have been, well, they would have probably figured that out too, maybe. I don't know.
It was conveniently forgotten.
Yep. that
I'm trying to remember. Did they hint to any of that in The Force Awakens?
Yeah, a little bit. I thought him wielding a lightsaber was hinting to that, maybe.
Yeah.
But again, there was no explanation in The Force Awakens, so I have no idea. The 2 Jedi would have been better than one when going up against the First Order. The First Order was a joke, and it ended up being a joke in the film. They had to bring out another empire. It was an entire different empire.
Even that's a joke into itself too.
Yeah, the final order. I mean, you're essentially telling, like, it's like you're admitting, like, yeah, this is it. It's going to be over. It's the final order. What do you mean the final order? What the fuck
because
does that
the Empire was referred to as the New Order, but
so it still doesn't work though, because they're just they're essentially admitting, like, this is the final order. That
with a bunch of ships that just come out of nowhere.
To last order.
So bad.
It's the New Order. We're going to be doing dance-offs.
In 10 years, when they make another trilogy, they're going to bring him back and say, oh, yeah, because he can survive anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
He just hurt his fingers. That's, that whole fall down. Yeah, it just cost him a couple of digits and they grew back. And then, people were trying to get their heads around this in the chat, people who haven't seen the movie. Rey, the Emperor wanted Rey to kill him so she could take over the Sith. So he says in the film that he would be inside her, but not taking over her body. He would be one of the other thousand.
Rey, I'll be inside you.
Star Wars,
sexual stuff. By the way, Star Wars for kids, everyone.
Relationships run amok in this.
Right. So 1,000 Sith would be inside of Rey, but instead she got 1,000 Jedi. You tell me what Rey is.
It's a party and everyone's
freaking gangbang over there. What's going on, man?
No. But he wouldn't be taking over her body. He was willing to give. Everybody wanted to give Rey stuff. That's what this was all about.
Yeah,
even the Sith.
He wanted to.
God.
Harvey Weinstein.
Mary Sue. God.
I will make you more powerful than you could ever imagine. Just
You'll
sit
be
on
growing and
I will get you lean
on
rows.
my back.
Just sit on the casting throne. Yeah.
Oscars await.
Oh, what did they do to Star Wars? What they did to Star Wars was like if you took every Disney princess happy ending and said, "Gotcha." If they did this to Lord of the Rings, my gosh, I would dedicate my entire channel to bringing down Amazon. I told you, they can't mess with they can't mess with Lord of the Rings. It's contractual. They can't go back and say,
God,
like Aragon had gay parents or something like that. They can't do that. So
I'm sorry, I got distracted by Wario flopping around on Jeremy's stream back there.
what's he doing?
I got Mario Toadstool Tour for the.
Is that like
GameCube
Odin's
playing.
dog licking their balls in the background? I don't know.
My dogs are young ladies. I'll have.
Okay, well then, never mind.
Are you sure they don't identify as anything else?
Yeah.
Or are they a Skywalker?
Not in this house.
You can't assume like that.
Are they a Skywalker? Right,
Skywalker.
Skywalker. Right, Skywalker.
God, that was so
Stop
cringe.
holding my hand.
it was.
Fucking hurt, man. I was like, don't do it. Don't say it. Don't say it. Please don't say it. Don't say it.
But
Skywalker.
But you got Space Joseph and
Let's say
Space
Joseph
Mary.
and Mary. Yeah. What are you gonna do?
My name is Ray Skywalker.
Skywalker. I have a theory of who Jedi Paxis is. It's George Lucas.
But of course, the theory is that George
That'd be
Lucas is Doomcock's a source. So
There you go.
That would be hilarious. Absolutely fucking hilarious.
Jeremy's Australian impersonation. My name is Ray Skywalker.
It'd be Skywalker.
Yeah,
if it was
Ryan's like,
Australian.
Jesus, Jeremy's accents are awful.
Leave my accents alone.
Some nobody for $2 says paying Disney to get a stronger up on your at 55 equals fistney. At 55 ass. Sorry. So paying, well, you can just write it. I don't think they'll. Well, maybe they do. Some nobody. You're right.
Yeah.
So for $2, paying Disney to get a fist up your ass is fistney. Fistney.
I love this so much.
I love them. They're the best. They're the best. You guys get me through the day. You get me through all of this bullshit. And there's more to come. Zachary Morehouse for $10. I think normies are going to think the movie is crap a few months down the road on a second watch. My dad liked The Last Jedi at first, but on second watch, it made him hate it. Yeah, you're probably not wrong. I don't know if normies are going to see this a second time. I think this was fast food. I think it was like crappy fries and a shitty burger that you were just hungry and you saw it and you're going to forget about it.
I think that's pretty spot on.
Yeah. That's Jar Jar Abrams fair.
Lots of pretty flashing lights, though. You know, I wish I'd had the seizure so I could have died.
There's a new Jeremy account called Jeremy's Mario Blanky.
Just think of the clicks
picture of
you
you
got.
wearing it. It just followed me on Twitter, and I just had to.
Jeremy Banky.
Right now, you look like
I can feel your anger.
I
You feel me growing inside of you.
You're looking like Leia out there on the Tatooine.
Emperor Banky Teen.
Hang on. This is
It's a me, Palpatine.
all right.
It hurts so much.
My slightly average lightsaber. Above average, sorry.
Slightly.
I am
Only
your
slightly.
It
I
applies
am
that
your
you're not.
I barely make the curve.
I am your grandfather. I placed my slightly above average lightsaber into a very attractive female.
Quick, somebody go flick the lights on and off. Quick.
I send you I send you $12 checks at Christmas.
Oh, shit.
Sorry, I missed your graduation. I had everything else in your life.
I can forgive everything.
Your grandmother was at home recovering from hip surgery.
Where's my thank you note?
My bunions are killing
Who are you again?
Oh shit! All right, I'm done with that. So
you never call me Ray.
Oh man, good stuff.
Gary, Uche, I believe, is on his way, and I know we talked about me rotating out with him. Do you want me to go ahead and scooch, or?
Odin, are you going to stay for a while?
I'm as soon as he gets in, I'm gonna scooch.
Okay, so we'll have Odin scooch because I know he's on a time limit because he's got a bedtime.
Aww,
Isn't that cute?
so sweet.
Come on.
Odin, did you go
5 more minutes?
Odin, did you go to a barber or just get the number 2 out? And
No, I went to a barber and they took care of this right here, and so yeah,
that's good. That's good.
Yeah. Place called Frankie and Johnny's. I highly recommend it. Yeah,
I might have to go to a barber for the beard. I mean, the wife has the salon, but the hairdressers and beards,
I wouldn't trust it. I wouldn't trust it.
No,
It's a different beast.
it is. They want to balayage it or flat iron it or whatever the hell,
Yeah.
Welcome to
That
the
sounds great.
salon. Well, it is, and it's a San Francisco salon. I mean, it doesn't really get gayer than that. So the bearded dog or the bearded doog for $5. Every media spot this week has 2 voices, C-3PO and Luke, and then the announcer ends, "Catch up with the heroes of a new trilogy, Rey, Finn, and Poe." They know what's up. There is so many trailers. I was putting together trailer footage for my review video, and it's like 10 minutes long of clips.
It's insane.
Yeah, it's apparent they were pretty desperate to get butts in seats.
There's
I'm really upset. I'm really upset we didn't see Ochi in the movie, though. That really pissed me off. I was really pissed off about that. I wanted an Ochi flashback.
They did
something.
We got his ship.
Yeah, he was there.
Yeah,
he was in it. Ochi was in it.
huh?
No, he was the guy with the bottle cap eyes.
Yep,
He stabbed Ray's parents.
he was in the film.
Oh yeah. I didn't even. I'll have to rewatch that then.
They
I'm
did
sure I can pull it up
flashback
on
in
Twitter.
Star Wars. They did a flashback in Star Wars.
I can pull. I could pull
Multiple
that up
times.
I can pull that up on Twitter. Oh, so Ochi was in it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep.
Killed Pops. Shanked him.
Did I miss?
It was
that?
literally like a 2-second flash. It was like flash a couple times throughout the film.
You could have missed it, and nobody would have blamed you. But I went to the bathroom during the scene where they were breaking out Chewbacca, and I missed nothing. They were just running around shooting target practice.
They got in.
Dude, everybody was walking around.
There was no resistance.
Everybody was walking around my theater the entire fracking time. Nobody sat in their seat for very long at all. People were just up and moving around and going to the bathroom, coming back with extra snacks and shit. Nobody gave a damn. It was so stupid.
Like, fuck
I've never
it.
seen much movement in a theater in my life.
That's crazy. What's crazy is the amount of people that clapped at the end. So just to give you guys an idea, San Francisco is like the snobbiest, smuggest town on the planet. And they don't clap for shit. And they clapped at the end of this, which probably tells you everything you need to know when you think about it.
Of all the damn spoilers, I can't get a picture of fucking Ochi. It's bullshit.
By the way, J.J. Abrams voiced
Ryan
Dio.
could get you one.
Yeah, Ryan has the link, so I'm just happy his Twitter account is still there. By the way, if you want to go to Ryan Kennel's Twitter account, his inbox is open. If you're looking for free access to the movie, Ryan Kennel will hook you up. Just send him a message. He probably doesn't have anybody to respond to, so just tell Ryan I said hi.
He didn't respond to my message today.
He's an asshole.
He's big time in me now. My little protege, our little internet son, Jeremy.
The guy,
big time in me.
the guy who was just he was so respectful when we met him at that bar meetup. He was so nice. He's like, hey, man, I really respect you, Jeremy, man. You've inspired me. And now it's just like, fuck you. Every day I talk to him, he's like, fuck you. You know, blah, blah,
Kick
blah.
your ass.
At least you get to fuck you.
Bad.
I get nothing.
You can turn this around. You do literally say all of the time, it's fuck you, Jeremy. And so maybe
I know. I know. But Ryan's taking it to the extreme, you know. I mean, it's really it hurts. You know.
The thing
He
is,
was very respectful to me and Gary that day. And now he's turned into a YouTube celebrity at this point. Pretty soon he's gonna start charging people at his meetups. You know, like other YouTubers. You know?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Charging at meetups, $5 a head. Wow.
And he just super chatted too.
Ryan, I'm just busting your balls. I was napping earlier. You wake your ass up for me, buddy. When I message you, you wake your ass up. Just kidding. I'm trying to find it, but see that it would be I don't know.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it too.
I don't have it. I'm not trying to screen grab it or anything, but that would that would be trying to find an individual scene, a clip in this film.
Ryan said I use you to build my channel. Get over it. Now, hey, real quick. So Mary, I know Mary's got to go. So Mary, if you want to
go, Mary. Okay.
I have something prep for tomorrow.
That's fine. No, it's okay.
Yeah.
So plug your channel as you leave.
Well, hi guys. I am Mary B. I am the mistress of mayhem, disruptor of the narrative, and official women card holder. You can find me over my channel, Mary Mayhem, where I talk about newsy new stuff. And right now, it's basically all the rise of Skywalker. So if you haven't gotten enough of that over here, you can certainly you're welcome to come over here and hear me say "fuck this movie," "fuck it" in the left ear. I hate this movie so much. So yeah, guys. Hopefully I'll see you guys over there. I try to get something out just about every day. So yeah.
Good to have you, Mary.
Thanks for coming on, Mary. I appreciate you.
It was a complete and utter pleasure, and I do, unlike Ryan, still respect you.
Why? Thank you. Thank you. It's only a matter of time, so I'll appreciate it while I have it. Still.
Yep.
All right, thanks, guys. Nice to see everybody. Garrett, you're a
Take care, Mary.
Hey, thank you.
Bye, Jeremy.
Bye.
I was gonna say fuck you, but never mind.
Might as well.
Oh my! Speaking of phallic symbols, each Star Destroyer has a giant dick too.
Yep.
And it was the weakness. That's how they blew it up, was by shooting the phallic symbol.
Yep.
Also, someone made a great tweet with that and basically said, "My doom cock is ready."
I know. I saw that. That was fantastic.
Yeah.
Are we?
So how many is that in this movie? So there's the dick snake. There's the dick in the background while Kylo Ren and Rey are fighting. There's the dick on the bottom of the Star Destroyers.
Hey, somebody said in my live stream earlier.
Trying to tell me something.
Somebody said in my live stream earlier, we got a dick in a mystery box.
It's a dick in a mystery box.
Yes,
a dick in a mystery box. Yeah.
Where is the Uche scene?
Where is it?
Yeah.
Allegedly, you can't find it.
Adam
Allegedly,
Driver. You ever get that profile shot of Adam Driver right when he turns it back into Ben right after he sees his hand? Whoa! I mean, how does that poor kid? I'm glad he's an actor and he's he probably pulls like no other, but.
What's up with this? Like, did he go to the Gap and get a new T-shirt or something? And when he became Ben, he had like this whole loose shirt. It's like
yes, he did.
So weird.
It was like the clothing under his armor.
He got the same wardrobe change that that Palpatine got after he got rejuvenated by Ben and Rey. Did you notice he got a little red ascot-y kind of thing?
I saw that. He had that red clothing or whatnot. Robe, I guess, is what it would be. I don't know. It looked dumb. It's like, when did he wear red other than when he was Senator Palpatine? It's like, come on. He wore the black and gray. Come on.
Yeah,
Get with it.
I can't find it. Yeah, no, he didn't. But JJ loves red. He's always loved red. I'm surprised he didn't put the Rambaldi device in it and the red matter and fucking. It was I'm telling you that I watched every episode of Alias, and I'm pretty sure there was an episode where the map, like they put up an object and it formed the rest of something else for a map. I'll find that episode before I do my review. I'm pretty damn sure
I saw it, dude. It definitely felt like an episode of Alias. And as much as I love that show, it got so fucking repetitious.
It did.
It was very predictable.
First season and a half was good, and then it went way downhill. So we got Uche coming in eventually, right? And we are gonna
Uche.
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 Oh, it's gonna be such a confusion now. We got Uche and we got Uche.
Uche and Uchi. Yeah. Uchi Scoochie. Some nobody for $2. We're all gonna leak for years how this movie did us. Oh, we're gonna leak for years how this movie did us. Yes. It'll be a little bit of the leakage that we don't like. I wouldn't say we don't like. I'm trying to keep it clean. I'm not succeeding very well, but yeah. And thank you, Some Nobody, for $2. Cabas SC7 for £2. If anything, Mahler's retirement plan is settled. Yes. Well, we can wait for his video, but his video that will be 1 million views. Easy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Horace Cock Johnson for $5. Is Ray's last name Lannister by any chance? At least Luke and Leia weren't aware of their family ties. Yeah, it might be Horace Cock Johnson. Brer Raptor for $2. Vader wasn't one of the spirits. Sheev was posing. Yeah, well, yeah. Vader wasn't in the movie, but he's in a clip though, and that's a legit clip. There's a clip of Kylo killing Vader. J. Louvre for $5. When they fall through the sand, it's Abrams' version of Devil's Snare as they fall into the Chamber of Secrets to find a basilisk and a one-eyed Willy. Yes, that's true. There is Last Airbender in this. There's Harry Potter in this. Yeah. Voice of Movies for $4.99. Luke wanted to kill his nephew for Snoke being in his head, but was fine training Palpatine's granddaughter.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. This is where you know they have no freaking plan whatsoever.
Yeah,
they had no plan.
Pretty ridiculous.
Some nobody's got the perfect super chat to cement Jeremy's statement. Some nobody for $2. Force cocaine is a hell of a drug. Rick James, 2019.
Cocaine.
Force cocaine. Well, I'm sure that's the subtle imagery I provided, and I'm sure you caught the subtle imagery I provided in the thumbnail, because I do believe this film looked like it was directed by a meth head who decided to take up cocaine as a hobby, and then we had George Lucas and Steven Spielberg looking like they just did a couple lines. The unrelenting male gaze for $4.99. Force healing is legit, but like every other force power, it takes years, if not decades, to master. It's legit in the EU, the unrelenting male gaze, and I agree with you there, but it's not legit in the films. And it takes
it's not shown once.
No, it takes scenes and characterization to make us buy it. But you're right. Gunnar Rene Oy for 20 Norwegian krona. Rocks fall, everyone dies. Nah, forced too hard. Rocks fall. Oh, you mean well, she died from what did Ray die of?
Nothing.
Force overdose.
Exhaustion.
Force overdose. Yeah.
Overdose. Yep.
The plot, the script. That's what she did.
She OD'd on the plot. Yeah. Exactly.
OD'd on the plot. Oh, there he is. Sorry. Boom. Hi.
Greetings, Fandom Menace.
Greetings.
Uche. Indeed, we have shown non-believers.
Yes, do it.
Fuckers.
Do it.
What's going on, y'all?
What's up, black person?
Yeah, I was just hitting this pipe one more time because, Star Wars.
Yeah. I don't blame you. I wanted to hit it too. And I've been sober for years. I wanted to hit the crack pipe.
Oh, whoa.
My God.
I had to have a glass of bourbon after watching that movie.
Freaking Uche. I have to. I feel free to mute Uche whenever you have to, Gary.
Dude, the people want to know what's real. This is real. Motherfuckers smoke weed when they have to fucking deal with stress. All right.
I'm bringing in my 420 representation in here, you know, because there's a little too much sobriety on this panel. Yeah, Darth Uche. Yes.
Yes.
Is it quarter Claus? Is it quarter black Santa Claus now, Gary?
Yeah, it's quarter black Santa.
Ho ho ho. Yep.
Hail to the fandom. Sorry.
Hail to the fandom. Yeah, you know, things are it was nuts last night, but you know what? It feels almost the Fandom Menace was right. The Fandom Menace was vindicated. Then the Rise of Skywalker comes out, and I'm just saying my personal feeling is a little anticlimactic. It was bad. It was bad, but it was boring bad.
Yes. That's a good way to put it.
That is a good way to put it. I fell asleep. I had to start it. I had to it was over when I woke up. So I just restarted it. Oh, by the way, piracy.
Yep.
Real quick, I'm gonna do this. Sketch therapy, chill the fuck out, okay? I'm tired of seeing you fucking troll Odin every time we do this stream. All right, I know you got a Jeremy account.
Oh, dude,
all right, I know you're. Yeah, I know you have a Jeremy account. I know you're a strong supporter of Geeks Gamers. Stop with this shit. It's really fucking aggravating. And if not, I'm just gonna ban you from Geeks and Gamers. I'm tired of seeing the shit. All right, tired of it. Just leave it alone. You make the mods' life miserable. You detract from the conversation and the stream, and it's aggravating as hell. Damn. And Gary said something last week about this, you know, or not 2 weeks ago.
What is this?
And there he's coming back in.
What is this about? What is this about again, Odin?
Honestly, because it all comes down to he was harassing someone on Twitter months ago, like 5-6 months ago. He was harassing someone. So I think that I and others reported him for harassment because he was literally harassing someone and he still hasn't let it go.
Now I'm going to harass you.
It's now he's harassing me. It's like, okay, gotcha. He canceled my Twitter. And Snopes, they sorry that see, here's the thing. I can't control your Twitter account. They banned you because they saw the reports and said, oh no, you're harassing someone. That's why you lost your Twitter account, because you were harassing someone, dude.
And he holds Odin responsible for that. Because Odin controls Twitter.
Yeah, because I control Twitter. Yeah, I control the Twitter. He canceled my Twitter. I didn't cancel. I almost cursed. I didn't cancel crap. I didn't cancel crap, dude.
Look at Uche.
Let the anger flow through you.
Let's let the hate flow.
Yes.
Good.
And Sketch, if you proved you weren't harassing someone, why did they delete your account? If you prove that you weren't harassing someone, why did they delete you, man? All right. So just let it go. Have fun. Just have fun in the chat. There are people in here that don't like me, and we've been able to get through it.
I don't like Odin. I don't like him.
I know, right? No one likes.
No one.
Hey, just to stay within theme of Uche, I'm gonna go get a refill, but it's gonna be water.
You do that. You do that. So, Sketch Therapy, I appreciate your membership. I really do. I appreciate you've been around for a while, but you're derailing my show with your spam. So if it doesn't stop right now, you're gone. I'm banning you from the channel. That's it. Okay, because I don't like spam. You can have a beef with Odin all day. He's, you know what? But I like Odin, and you guys can go work it out. So I'm giving you this one chance to work it out, or you're gone. Because now I had to stop my show to talk about some little freaking beef from a while ago. Man up, dude. Man the fuck up. We all get fucked over sometimes, and usually it's our own fault. So that's all I'm saying on that.
Yeah.
Mods, if he keeps it up, you know what? Or I'll blast him. If I see it one more time, I'll do it. So the mods are guilt-free on this one. And you know what? I usually don't like doing that stuff. I like the freedom to give people shit. If you want to give me shit, give me shit. This is my channel. Come here to give me shit. But yeah, leave my guests alone. It's getting old. Or maybe he's just doing that so I can do it, and then he can go bitch about it somewhere else.
That's exactly what he's doing, because he was just like, during that whole thing, he was like, see, he admitted it. It's like, yeah, I admitted that you were harassing people, and so I reported it, and Twitter rightfully said, no, you're harassing people. That's why you lost your account.
I'm sure everybody tuned in to hear Sketch Therapy complain about losing a Twitter account. It's
for like
Twitter.
the sixth week in a row now.
Ooh, I think he got banned. It says
Yeah,
he was
Cinema
hidden.
Queen. Yeah, actually, he kept going. Cinema Queen took care of it. Thank you.
Thank you.
You beat me to it.
You did not have to do it, but thank you. But yeah, anybody can do it. And now Sketch Therapy can go to everybody's channel and complain incessantly about
That's what he does.
Getting banned about from my channel. Yeah, he got fucking banned because he was a dick. Bye.
Don't be a dick. That's
Don't be a dick,
rule, man. Don't be a dick.
Yeah.
Don't be a fool.
And he's notorious for doing this stuff. He's been around. He was around during Comicsgate. This isn't new.
Yeah, this is old hat from him. So
hey, can I get banned from Twitter? Can anybody help me out with that, by the way? Like,
apparently,
Odin.
If I report you, apparently you'll lose your account.
Odin, ban me, please. Please make this happen.
And Mikey Woods, thank you, and Cinema Queen, thank you to all the Nerdrotics for working for nothing and doing great work. And I apologize that one very selfish person. You know what, Sketch Therapy? Start a channel, dude. Start a channel, and you can bitch all you want. Do it.
Get
Put
your own
face on the
live
camera.
streams, everything.
Yeah. Let everybody know your name, your first and your last name.
Contact Mad Max. He'll give you a platform. Y'all can bitch about Jeremy and Odin all day long.
That would be some great content.
See that panel. I want to see that panel. But Tippy Tail McKitty is calling me out, saying Odin got me banned from MySpace.
Dang!
Man, I'm sorry.
Back in 2006.
Oh my! What LiveJournal? You got me banned from LiveJournal.
Damn you, Odin!
You got me banned from Black Planet.
GeoCities.
Hey, so you got the whole Jeremy has time for a high council now. Now we need a whole joke about Odin got me banned from just wherever. Odin got me banned from Disney World. Odin got me banned from Six Flags.
Dude,
Odin
you should make T-shirts out of that. That'd be fantastic.
I should. I'll tell my wife about that, and she'll have
hashtag Odin got me banned.
Your shirt should say, Odin got me banned, and have like just a line so they can write it in.
Here, I'm gonna make
from Chuck E. Cheese.
Odin got me banned from let's say the Dollar General.
Angel Fire. We got Angel Fire, LinkedIn, Blockbuster,
Hollywood Video.
Yeah,
Laura says I got her banned from the Waffle House.
Odin got me banned from Cracker Barrel.
I'm gonna say Odin got me banned from
I was banned from the Flamingo for a while. And I didn't even do anything. See, Sketch Therapy, if you're still listening out there. So it was my wedding weekend in Vegas, and we go to the Flamingo, and my friend, who was drinking too much because I was sober at the time, decided to drop his trousers on the dance floor because it was party time, right? So I'm with him. They banned all of us. I went back 2 years later. They remembered. They have the photo
They're like,
a long time ago. Kept me. I could not get in. So quit your bitching. Jeez.
Quarter Flag says Odin got me banned from my own house.
That's awesome that you're on the wall of shame somewhere, Gary.
Yeah, because I was with an idiot, but he was my idiot. I liked him. North American Ham Rammer for $2. Point of privilege. Jeremy stole my super chat. Boo.
Did I? I don't know what that means.
You might have had a similar take. I think.
Okay. Or hopefully I didn't miss the super chat or something on my channel.
North American Ham Rammer, cool beans.
All right,
he would let you know respectfully.
Last thing before I go, a recent super chat came in and says Odin ordered a cheese pizza once it had pepperoni on it. He reported Pizza Hut. That was the Dallas Deadeye. But I do have to head out because my wife's trying to go to sleep, and these walls are pretty damn thin. So,
all right, man.
Thanks to the mods. You guys are freaking awesome. Seriously, the mods do incredible work every single night because I'm watching the chat every single night, which is why sometimes I might get distracted. So you guys are doing a fantastic job. And thank you so much for always having me on. You guys are freaking awesome. Rise of Skywalker sucked. # Solo lost money. And hopefully we can one day say Rise of Skywalker lost money, but we'll have to wait and see on that one. But
all right, buddy.
Thanks for coming on, man. Take care, Odin.
All right, love you,
man.
Right,
Yep,
brother.
see you, man.
Catch you later. Yeah. God, that talk about derailing things.
That was a complete derailment. I came in
man.
right at the
That was a
start.
blind, Jim.
Well, look at the bright side. Now he can complain about how he got banned from a live stream.
Oh, he'll be on somebody else's stream doing it like right now. So
At least we created a new Odin meme, so it's all good now. So
grown ass man complaining about getting banned. Or I'm assuming that. I guess I'm assuming that. How do I even say this? Nasana-san for $10. The so-called trio who weren't really friends because they never talked about Rey, the thing with Kylo, Finn's force sensitivity, or Poe's spice running. After that victory, they split up pretty quick. They did. They obviously didn't like each other.
Yeah, I thought that was weird how they tried to bring them together in the third movie, like they'd been around each other the whole series.
Oh, I know. That's so hilarious.
Oh, now they're arguing like in sync with each other. Like what? Yeah, it didn't make any sense. But like I said before, the only thing that I really took from Rise of Skywalker that I was like, okay, it's late, but I definitely wanted to know that was that Finn was force sensitive.
Yeah, but they did it in such a lazy way.
It was lazy. It was shoehorned in. But I mean, it just kind of confirms my thoughts on where they should have went with this entire trilogy from the outset. Was it being a 2 Jedi show like it was in the original trilogy, where you have Rey and Finn as the ones discovering that they're force sensitive and begin training as Jedi? I mean, that would have been a much better. Then they have their own little. Maybe they have the love triangle with Kylo Ren as well because she's a Palpatine. So I guess the dark side pulls some of that, but. Just to give it more, like, I mean, they just miss so much. It's hard to really put it into words because there were so many options that they could have taken.
Yep.
Yeah, so many routes they could have taken and they did not. They went the worst one.
And the reason everything got derailed goes to the first movie when Rey could not be presented in a way. She couldn't be written like a normal character because of the politics of the situation. We can't have a woman receiving power. We can't have a woman being mentored by a man. She's got to grow up on a planet by herself. We can't even give her a dad because of politics. And that's what completely derailed her character. And they felt like they didn't need to explain that stuff because it would have been showing a weakness. And we had to show that not just they had to make up. Hollywood feels like they have to make up for 100 years of abuse in one film. They've monetized their abuse. They've figured out a way to put it within their narratives. And this is a Hollywood problem. The Me Too Time's Up thing is a Hollywood problem. Certainly it happens in corporate America and your normal places, but not as bad as Hollywood. There's no casting couch at a McDonald's. So this is what they've been doing. And, it's fucking Hollywood. It's a superficial town, and it's an opportunistic town. What ass? Rey needs to force some pork in that flat, says some nobody for $2.
Oh.
I'm not gonna even lie. I was looking to see if she had asked a few times in the movie and couldn't really find one. I mean, it was
a negative.
Yeah, she's very average.
I think that was done intentionally too.
Let me show you this real quick, Gary, because this is what happens on Friday Night Tights. Okay, right there. Jeremy's Mario Blanky account has been created now. Jeremy's favorite Blanky. I love keeping his chair warm and him warm at night in Jeremy's pool house. What the hell?
Jeremy farts on me and I don't leave him. There you go. Opinion for Canadian, two Canadian pesos. Rey didn't disappear because of the 5-second rule. That's good. That's good. Oh my God. Your boy Zach from Comic Diversity in Comics formerly came up with a great term that describes a lot of characters that we see now. Blandly competent.
Blandly competent.
Blandly competent.
Very true.
Oh, it just jumped on me for Pete's sake. Oh, there's Ryan Cannell. Yes, Gary, I did. I was napping earlier. LOL. I was just giving you a hard time. Thanks for the $2. Why was freaking Wedge Antilles a general? Seriously. Why wasn't? I'm sorry. Why wasn't? I read that.
Yeah.
Why wasn't he in all 3 films?
Yeah, it's better that he wasn't because he probably would be dead by now.
Yeah, and he should have been probably an admiral.
Yeah. Oh, white male.
Yeah.
That's right. I forgot.
Yep.
But yeah, white male.
Identity politics in The Rise of Skywalker. Were they prevalent to you guys?
No.
Nah, I didn't see much of it.
Neither did I. There was like one scene I was like, it could be. It's the scene where Poe Dameron's giving the eyes at Zori Bliss, and she's just like shakes her head. It's like,
yeah, I wouldn't consider that.
I wouldn't consider it either. But that was like the only thing I was going.
I
don't know.
I actually laughed out loud when he was like, "Can I get a kiss?"
Yeah,
that was funny. I thought that was funny.
But yeah,
I think that's mostly just Oscar Isaac being charming.
Yeah,
like, that's not the writing. That's just him. He's a good actor.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I think Oscar Isaac is a good actor. He was. What is that movie that was on Netflix? It was him, Ben Affleck, Charlie Hunnam.
Oh yeah, where they're doing the little the heist job. I think it is. Something like that.
Yeah. That was a great movie. I enjoyed the hell out of that. But yeah, I mean, I like Oscar Isaac, and I thought he was pretty good. He was my favorite character in this film. I think
he was the most consistent for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He was my favorite character in this film.
I mean, it's just such a waste of good young. Well, I wouldn't say young, but good like kind of fresh talent that they brought in for the trilogy. Like they just wasted them all away.
They really did, because they actually had a pretty good chemistry in this movie.
Such a waste.
And it was so wasted. And John Boyega, he did a fantastic job in this movie as well. And it just sucks that they treated him like a joke. And honestly, the first 2 movies, making him a janitor. Yeah, it's like they could have made him. And I know you said this, Gary, and I completely agree with you. They could have made him a badass, ruthless stormtrooper who basically kind of grows a conscience and then defects. And they could have made him this badass character, but they made him a joke. And it's like they said the whole janitor thing, I swear to God, because of Clerks. That's the only reason why that was inserted in.
I agree with that. And they could have easily, since they're already doing flashbacks, which is kind of I don't know. I don't think that belongs in Star Wars, but they could have done something really quick to show Finn's past as that badass stormtrooper and him out, slaughtering people, because they had no problem showing Kylo slaughtering people, and it would have just a couple of minutes would have given that character so much more depth.
Mm-hmm. I think if you even take the approach of like a super stormtrooper gone AWOL, like kind of like how they got Master Chief in Halo, like he's kind of an advanced stormtrooper that's got some type of cybernetic programming, like slightly kind of augmented programming, and he just kind of goes AWOL from all the testing and kind of defects over. I think that might have been something that would have been a little bit interesting, giving him skill. I mean, a new kind of stormtrooper that's not like just a complete moron. Like they continuously play off that trope of the stormtrooper to be a moron, but make this guy something that was a real serious threat that they developed, that the Empire developed. Yeah.
The other thing too that was really wasted was the whole thing with the Sith troopers. It's like they gave no background into that. It was completely wasted and
they were just dumb. Red.
It's like red stormtrooper armor. The Sith troopers. I heard like I don't know if this was just a rumor, if this is actually the case, but they were supposed to be actually Force sensitives.
It was probably a rumor. It would have made more sense, but what was in the leaks that they barely kind of brushed over in the film was they were kids that they were harvesting. So they were kidnapping kids and training them as stormtroopers. But
that's what the First Order was doing.
But within the leaks, they were getting the kids from the rebellion. children of rebels and having them turn against it. And that's, of course, what the leaks said. And that would have, but they didn't mention it.
Yeah, that actually would have been interesting.
Yep. Now, there's a bunch of stuff in the leaks. That's why I retitled this. Rise of Skywalker leaks are better than the film. And they were. They read better and they have more depth.
Yeah. It's true. It's true. Hey, Gary, I'm about to bounce here soon.
Yeah.
I think Candace is wanting to. I don't know if she was wanting to come on, but does she have a link?
I will get her a link.
Okay.
And I'll get Ryan a link.
But I got to work on some videos because I'm so far behind. So,
I do too. We're not going to be going for much longer, but we're going to get some of these done.
Okay, so I mean, I know if you lose a person or two to help, you can get the flow show or the show flow and some super chats read because I know you want to focus on those. So
yeah.
But anyway, thanks for having me as always. And I look forward to next week. Friday Night Tights is becoming just a huge thing every week. So thanks to everybody tuning in. And so subscribe to everybody here on the panel. That's what you need to do. Subscribe to all their channels. Gary is going to be passing PewDiePie in the next couple of months. So great job on the channel growth, Gary.
Thank you.
Gary has been killing it. He has. It's like I told you the other day. I said, dude, you're going to hit 200K in like the next few weeks. So proud of you, man. Proud of you.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So, all right, everybody, have a great night. Thank you very much for checking out this live stream. And Solo lost money, and we will talk to you later.
Later, brother.
Later,
thanks,
dude.
man. Thanks for everything you do.
All right, bye.
There, I'm gonna get the link to Candace and Uche. Thanks for coming in, and I'll get you in next time, like earlier too. So I always appreciate you coming.
I'm happy to be on here for the first time. I mean, I see it every Friday. I'm like, oh, they're having a good old time in there. Let me throw a couple hails in there before I ride out.
Yeah. So, god damn it, jumped on me again. Raid. Okay. Why? When I heard Harrison Ford's voice, I fucking cringed. And then, wow, you got that in the super chat. Drunk Rhino for $10. And then
Oh, nice.
when Kylo turned around, I literally flipped off the movie. Did you catch C-3PO saying this party only happens every 42 years? I did.
I heard that too.
Wait, what?
Yes. So
The planet, the party, the festival on the desert planet.
Oh yeah. I remember that. When you said that.
So
was that supposed to mean? Was that supposed to be pointing to that date?
I think it's a Douglas Adams reference.
Hitchhiker's Guide.
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Yeah.
Okay.
It's either that or how old is Star Wars? Is it 42 or 3? I know they just had their 40th anniversary. Was that during Last Jedi? So it might have been the age of Star Wars. I can't remember. I have to count back to 1977, and I don't want to do that right now.
Math right now.
But otherwise, a lot of people. 42 is the answer to life, the universe, and everything.
Oh yeah, it is 42.
So yeah, that might have been
between now and 1977 is 42 years.
Okay. Lando Calrissian is here and says Odin has hot jazz hands. And Odin is gone for 279 Canadian pesos. Samusarin for $5. Now that the Jedi is gone and there is no Imperial remnant and the New Republic army, the Yuuzha Vong is going to be unstoppable. I do not even know what that is. What's a Yuuzha? Yuuzha and Vong. Is it a
the Uzan Vong? They're EU. They're the next threat in the EU after the Empire.
Yeah, Palpatine actually built the Empire to fight them.
Yeah.
Are they from the outer regions?
Outer Rim.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they have like biological ships and stuff.
Yeah.
No jazz hands. It triggers my lefty epilepsy, says Warren Smith for Australian $2. And Americo Falopa for $5. Bob and KK gave a dick in a box to the fans. Yes, they did.
It was Ryan Johnson's dick.
The Art of the Real for $20. I'm from Miami, but I identify as a San Francisco voter. Can I vote for the next Frisco election, Gary? Yeah. I mean, I never do. because it's like, do I vote between the socialist or the communist? So I mean, it's just like
such choices, Gary.
Such choices I have, and neither one of them will clean the poop off the streets.
Because that would be some sort of istophobes if they did that. Or...
Yep. Fat Gandalf for $1.99 says Leia needed mansplaining. Yeah. Maticus Finch for $18.20 for $5. I love how Rey was easily able to lift the ship Chewie was on, but yet Yoda used all his might to lift an X-wing out of the swamp. Not.
Yep.
That was a moment that I actually laughed.
Yoda. I mean, it's obvious.
I laughed out loud. I actually stood up out of my chair and laughed when I saw her just stop that shit from going into orbit. I was just like, seriously?
Yeah.
Is this what this shit is now? She can just do anything? Is this God mode?
She can do whatever she wants.
If she was actually a trained Jedi, yeah, she could do it. But that's kind of the issue, is that she's not actually a trained Jedi.
So I brought this up in my live stream last night. Palpatine has Force dementia. And I said, why didn't Rey have longer conversations with Palpatine? Because she might have figured out that he was just talking gibberish because he's got dementia. Like, my programs aren't on. I can't find the remote. Who are you? Matlock.
I mean, he could have just stopped shooting Force lightning and he wouldn't have died. I mean, I feel like that's
right.
Yeah. I feel like that's kind of one that they left out there that didn't make any sense to me. Like,
I legit started laughing at that. it's one thing, seeing on Twitter. It was completely different seeing it in the theater. It's like everyone was like
watching
clapping and cheering. I'm like, this is stupid. Oh my god! I can't believe this is real.
That was me half the time. I was sitting right next to guys that were like legitimately excited for the movie. Like a different group of guys. I was sitting right next to them and I just couldn't stop laughing. And they were like, "Oh, stop, man."
Oh, really? Oh,
no, this is
the funniest shit I've seen in a long time.
This is a fucking comedy, man. What are you talking about?
You got the Force teleporting. You got Force fucking.
Yeah.
I mean, what? How do you teleport a lightsaber? How? How's that possible?
I think he keistered it, but that's me.
Oh my god!
Right up the poop
flesh
chute.
pocket.
The flesh pocket. Oh man, dude, the super chats jumped on me so much. Like, I'm back at 5:52 p.m. Pacific time, and it's that was 3 hours ago. So I'm sorry they jumped on me. I'm gonna have to probably do a square up again. So I apologize, but we're gonna go for a few more minutes. I don't know if I sent the link to Candace, but yeah, we're not gonna be on much longer. And I'm sorry again, the show got derailed because one dude force farting. Yes, I talked about force farting yesterday too. No, actually, somebody brought it up in the chat. Force farting, which we need to have. I apologize again for Sketch Therapy, who is now going to go and derail other people's live streams bitching about me. And that's it doesn't get more SJW than that. It really doesn't, man. So please don't come back. I mean, anything could be worked out, but going on that long, but he got what he wanted, actually.
Attention. That's exactly what he did it.
Yeah, attention.
Yep.
Next time we should just quietly just ban him.
Yeah, well, he ain't coming back. He's done. He can bitch about it all he won't affect me. Voice of Movies, thank you again for the $4.99. Oh, and see, now I'm caught up. Am I caught up? Yes. Okay, now we got to get back up there. If I missed any, there will be a square up on Sunday morning. I can't do it tomorrow, but I can do it Sunday morning, and I do have to get some work done. Check the Alan Smithy IMDb page for endless fun, says Michael Sanger. Yes, it's brilliant. You get to see all the bad movies in one place. So Alan Smithy, again, to reset for anybody in the chat who doesn't know, is the director name for directors who want to remove their names off of films that suck. Fat Gandalf said Leia needed mansplaining, and we are at Red Lightning 0001 for $1.99. Gary, the lesbian kiss was cut in the Middle East. It was.
Yeah, it was.
Oh.
It was.
Wow.
So much for your cause there. I will be sure to mention that in my review.
It said we stone women who do this.
Yes.
Oh yeah, they wouldn't show that movie in the Middle East with that scene in there. No way.
No way.
Kamikaze for $10. I am hearing explanations that Ben Spirit was joined to Rey when he died because of their force link. So this is how they justify her claiming the Skywalker identity moving forward. Kamikaze, this is not this is not on you, but where did we hear that? Is it from a book? Probably a book, an interview.
It was damn for sure wasn't in the movie.
It wasn't in the movie.
Yeah.
And even then, he was a solo. He wasn't a Skywalker. His mom was a Skywalker, but he was a solo.
But she didn't adopt the Skywalker name. She was still an Organa. So the real Skywalker was a ghost and dead.
Yep.
TLJ destroyed Luke, and the Rise of Skywalker destroyed the Force. Yes, Jago, that is a very, very good point.
Yes.
Yeah. And dead. And now anybody who's a Force user is so OP going out. I mean, they can transfer things through the Force. They can heal people. Good luck to any future
from the dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
So Ruin of House Roundhead for $4.99. So I have decided to think of The Rise of Skywalker as an incompetent fan fiction made by Jar Jar Abrams, and The Last Jedi was an anti-fan fiction by Rianne. I like that description, Sir Ruin. I think it's applicable. Very applicable.
I think even one of the top critics said that about the movie, saying it came off as bad fan fiction.
I wouldn't be
Rotten
surprised.
Tomatoes.
Yeah, that's how it feels.
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard that a few times.
The Force Awakens felt like that to me. See, Twilight actually did start a lot of this shit that we're going through, this identity politics and Mary Sue's, and all of this started with fucking Twilight. Twilight's appearance at Comic-Con, and I've watched the movies, unfortunately I have not read the books, thank God. But Mrs. Nerdrotic wanted to see the films. So Belle was her name. She was an insufferable character that but everybody was just tripping over themselves to do things for her. And that's just what Rey was. What was her name again? God damn it. None of you guys were watch Twilight. Was it?
I think her character was Bella or something.
Bella. Yeah, that's it.
Bella.
Yeah, thank you. Fat Gandalf, $4.99. Star Wars is the same place as Batman was after Batman and Robin. Disney needs a Christopher Nolan and 3 films to resurrect it. The problem is, Fat Gandalf, that Batman was murdered in the second movie and he retired in shame. And you can't, so it'd have to be a brand new Batman. Yeah. Drew Boy.
That's the other thing too with the Batman movies. I mean, they're standalone, so they can kind of continue on. You can't necessarily do
it's
that
not a
with Star
continuation.
Wars. Yeah.
No. And Batman and Robin, as bad as it was not as bad as Disney Star Wars. I'd rather watch Batman on Ice, which was basically what Batman and Robin is. Drew Boy, 585 for $4.99. If Shmi got Shmeed by Palps, doesn't that make Rey and Kylo family? Yes, it does. And that's how much thought Jar Jar put into it. Mikey Gusler for $2. Guys, stop blaming JJ, KK, and RJ. Stuckman said so. Really?
In his review.
What the hell was he talking about?
He basically said there was no point kind of raging against a corporation.
There is.
I disagree. I think the main thing, which I will agree with, I don't remember if it was him that said it, but I think he did. This is the problem when a soulless corporation gets a hold of a property. When Lucas did it, he obviously did it with love and was trying to create something. I don't know if he was trying to create something long lasting, but he did. But he was trying to create something that people would like. Where Disney is just trying to create money. They don't care about the property.
Yeah.
Or the soul.
I've been saying that before people were listening to me.
Yeah.
And for a long time. And when you go out with your first intention is to make the cheddar and not care about a narrative. That's why it is too big to succeed. I've been saying it for a long time. Sure, it succeeded in the short term financially. But they didn't spend $4 billion again to have an expiration date, which they have now. And there's no turning back. They can't do anything to change that. You will never have as many Star Wars fans in the future as you had 3 years ago. That time has passed. It's gone. Your investment is blown. So I hope you
and they did it.
Money. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, Bob Iger was bragging about how much money they spend in an interview. Because the interviewer was like, "God, you put billions of dollars into Disney Plus." He's all, "That's nothing compared to do you know how much we spent on movies this year?" So, they're used to selling billions or spending billions. That's too big. You can't be passionate. You can't make things with soul when you're that fucking big. So, but Chris Stuckman, who I respect as a YouTuber. Another YouTuber telling YouTubers not to rage against anything is kind of ridiculous.
I don't think it's necessarily directing it at YouTubers. I'd have to go rewatch the video to see what he said, but basically he was kind of addressing the fan backlash a little bit. I don't think it was addressing
fans. Yeah. Or fans. Fans are fans. They're going to say what the hell they want when they want to, and God bless them for it. And don't let anybody tell you not to say anything.
I agree.
Right?
I agree.
Yeah.
And Chris Stuckman, I have a lot of respect for his channel. I don't always agree with everyone. I disagree certainly in this circumstance. As I said earlier, the fan outrage is the reason why this movie went the way it did. And it shows you the fact that fans really do have the power. We made Disney blink.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, we did. You would not be getting the Mandalorian you're getting if it wasn't for the Fandom Menace. And we're talking early Fandom Menace. They noticed that blink much earlier. It just takes time to shift this stuff.
Yes.
And the Rise of Skywalker wasn't filled with a bunch of identity politics because of the Fandom Menace. Some of the changes were made because of the Fandom Menace. None of them landed for me, but John Robertson said, breaking, Abrams used a hippie necklace as a direct hit on Gary. And I took it personally, especially a Burning Man in Star Wars. Burning Man. I gotta make sure. Hang on. Jesus. Okay, we are good. All right, I'm going to do 2 more super chats, and then we're going to do a square up on Sunday because we have all of these gentlemen need to sleep. It has been a long couple of days, and we still have a couple more to go. I have videos to make, which I have not done because I've been live streaming so much. So let's do these real quick. Mikey Gussler, thank you again for the $2. Guest 5 for £1.99. Jar Jar is as much to blame as Roundhead. Yes, he is. If not,
absolutely.
Yep.
Nothing from Middle Earth for $5 or $5 New Zealand dollars. Stupid Humi wit. It's. Do I have to say this in a Kiwi accent? Stupid Umi wit. It's Litz and Weird Boy. Hand waving weak. Hurrah, orcs. No need silly hints. Make the stupid Humi suck on my choppa ready for wag. Dude, thank you. I have no idea what I just read. But, right.
Why do orcs paint fire on their vehicles?
Why?
Because it makes it go faster.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's orc logic.
It's orc logic.
Space works, man. Space works.
Space works.
Sorry, 40K. That was a 40K reference.
That is a 40K reference. I am not kidding. I was like, is that from Bright?
No,
like Bright.
40K.
Okay. So everybody else on the super chats, I will make them up on Sunday. I do apologize. I don't like leaving them behind like this, but I am crunched for time. But I also, Uche, what have you been doing on your channel? What are you going to be doing the next couple days, next week?
So I just got done watching The Witcher, and on the weekends I try to do live gaming broadcasts, basically my weekend geek stuff, because during the week I'm doing football stuff. I'm actually about to jump on the Witcher 3 live stream after I get off of here, so I'm going to be playing some Witcher 3 in honor of the new Netflix series. Got a review for that coming on Geeks and Gamers soon. So if you are wanting to watch some gaming after we get done with this stream here, go ahead and hop on over, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see y'all in a little bit.
Yes, please go subscribe to Uche, the Observant Lineman. And how are you liking The Witcher? I like the first episode, man.
I've already watched the entire thing. I think it's pretty damn good. I think if you're somebody who's played Witcher 3, obviously the books are the main inspiration for this, but if you play The Witcher 3, there's going to be so many familiar vibes to the actual game, which I was surprised at. It actually felt like some aspects of episodes were like side quests, like how the game flowed. Decisions, there's a little bit of a connection in how you how the decisions are made in the episode, and how they basically have to face the consequences of those decisions the same way that you would in the game, where if you've played Witcher 3, you know that there are a number of different paths you can take based on your decisions, and there are consequences that actually are brought to the forefront later on that you get to see. So I'm really enjoying it. I'm giving it a solid 8.5 right now.
Oh, great.
For what I've seen.
I'm excited. I love just dark fantasy, Lord of the Rings. That's my favorite thing. So that's cool.
Yeah. It's good to hear something's good.
Yeah. And remind me, I got a show. So Witcher is based a lot on Elric. Okay. Elric, Moorcock's creation. And it's been used a lot by a lot of the dark elves in Hellboy kind of look like that too.
Yeah.
So I had a comic book character that I created from scratch called Dark Legion back in the 90s. Nobody will ever see it ever again. I drew it. I wrote it. Listen, it was my first time trying a comic book. I was in my 20s. I just said, fuck it. I want to do it. And I printed my own comic and I sold it and wrote it. And a friend of mine, Doug, co-wrote it with me. I've been making up this character since I was 16 years old, writing in a little notebook that's like this thick now. And just giving him lore, and the story just got way beyond me, so I could never write it or anything. But The Witcher looks like my character, like fucking dead on, especially when he's got the black eyes. Like that's what my character looked like. And I designed him in 1994. And actually the concept came in the 80s. I was very high on drugs, by the way. So I'll show my picture of Dark Legion. It's Dark Legion. Dark Legion. Yes, I actually,
it's metal,
isn't it though? And Vox Day, that idiot. I'm not a fan.
Is anyone truly a fan?
Yeah. Did that comic book series, and he's got he has a Dark Legion. I don't know if it's a comic book title or it's a moniker. But I don't know if he ran with it or not, but I actually own the trademark and copyright to that.
Ooh.
Oh,
I do.
Dude, you should totally go run with your idea, man. Try and make a comic out of it.
Yeah, man.
Somebody else wants to run with it. Maybe I can be there to consult, but yeah. I'll show my art off in a live stream some other time. Not going to bore you with it now.
Get an Indiegogo going. Get it funded, man. You can do it.
I would have to stop YouTube.
Do it.
But thanks, guys. Thanks. Quarter Black, what's on your plate, man?
Nothing. I'm off for Christmas, so I'm going to be doing a lot more live streams. I've been playing Shadows of the Empire, that old game from like 1994.
Oh, by the way, Christy was wanting.
That's what I'm doing on my channel.
Christy was wanting me to give you shit for that. Christy, she was wanting me to give you shit because apparently you're playing it terrible.
Oh,
it's not. Look, it's not my fault. The port of it makes the floors in like the third level. I just slide right off into the abyss and I die like 8 times. But I passed that level now, so nobody has to watch the cringe of me falling into the dead abyss. So go subscribe to my channel if you want to see me suck at a game.
Yeah. Hey, if you want to see cringe, I'll play a video game live. You guys will laugh here. I am so bad.
You guys should have seen me play Jedi Fallen Order. I kept getting killed by a fucking
I'm going to play that
frog.
next, I think.
I already beat that one on my channel.
Right on. Comix Division, plug your channel.
Hey, I have a channel. It's called Comix Division. I actually made several videos this week, and I did a live stream, 2 live streams actually. I've been replaying Gears of War, so I've been doing that every couple of nights a week. I'm going to be working on my review for the Rise of Skywalker, the Fall of Skywalker, whatever the fuck we want to call it. I'm on vacation for 2 weeks, so hopefully that means I'll be getting a lot of content out.
There you go. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, so both of you guys, I want you come back next week. You should come back next week if you can. If you can't, that's fine too.
No, I'll be here. I don't think I have anything going
I know you will be. You're part of the show. But Quarter Black, I want. Uche, I want. Comics. You can't go anywhere, Comics. You're
down.
The 10th, however, I would not be here for the 10th because I will be on a plane.
Where are you going?
I'll be flying home.
Nice. Okay. Well, that's okay. Thank you to the Nerdrotics tonight. Nyla Shadow, the Cinema Queen, according to Christy. Mark Lorzeth. I don't know if Chris Persia is around. Mikey Woods. What's up, Mikey Woods? And yeah, and again, I apologize for the derailment. That sucks.
But not your fault, man. Not your fault.
Yeah.
So I will be back live on the Inquisition with Doomcock on his channel. And hey, everybody, I'm sure Doomcock is still live streaming. I'm sure he still has like 6 hours to go. So go over to Doomcock's live stream. Tell him I sent you, and we'll be on the Inquisition on Sunday. In the meantime, I will be working on a Fall of Skywalker review to put this thing to bed on this channel. And hopefully, I cross fingers I'll have time for my Expanse live stream tomorrow, and then a Witcher review on Monday. I'm so excited. I'm so excited about this. So everybody, have a great night. For Jeremy and Odin, who are gone. Not all who wander are lost.